The Big Rab Show Podcast is kindly sponsored by G1 Reeds. They are the champion's choice, with many bands around the world playing G1 products. Providing everything you need to hit the circle or the big stage. So check out g1reeds.com as they keep the lights on here at the Big Rab Show Podcast. Hello there, everyone, and welcome to another Big Rab Show Podcast, episode 501, which is absolutely... Okay, family show. So, yes, we'll talk about episode 500 and everything that happened at Piping Live. That'll be a different podcast. But this week, we are wrapping up everything from the World Pipe Band Championships, and we're also going to be talking about our predictions that we got some dreadfully wrong, but some kind of on the money as well. Yeah, we'll talk about that. But first of all, let's get through our introductions. If this is your first ever Big Rab Show podcast, you are welcome. We are the show for the bagpiping folk, and we reflect everything in the bagpiping world, be it Celtic music, folk music, or what we're about to chat about, competitive piping and drumming. Each and every week, we're here talking about what we know and love to be the music of the great Highland bagpipe and its people. And yeah, shout out to our Patreon faithful who are awesome. Yes, thank you for keeping the wheels turning here at the Big Rab Show. There's a link in your show notes right now where you can go, click on support, and help support your favourite wee piping podcast. Aye. Now, as this is a specialist episode of the show, wrapping up everything from Glasgow, we don't have any listener mail this week. We don't have Weekly Drone. But I'm going to say this. Since Saturday, JD, at the point of me recording this, has received almost 30 Weekly Drones in the space of, 3 days? Which is absolutely insane. So JD has been flat out recording these things. And yeah, we're going to have to do a proper catch-up where we run through every weekly drone that we received. Now, they're on a plethora of topics. They're talking about the food at the Worlds, the portaloos. Of course, they're talking about the guys in yellow coats who were a disaster. But also talking about the music, the standard, the results, all that stuff. Your weekly drones have been received, but we will bring those to a future show. JD is continuing to record them, so send them in. Go to our website, thebigrabshow.com, big button at the top of the page that says weekly drone. You can let us know your thoughts over there. There you go. And also, if you do want to send us in listener mail, bigrabshow@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Right, we're going to get into it. Well, a full World Championship wrap-up as best as we can. And everyone... yeah, that joined us on our prediction pod is now back again with us this week. Apart from Siobhan, who couldn't make it, unfortunately. Yeah, she got snared up with work. So anyway, that happens. So I need to welcome back on the show, first of all, Stuart Campbell. Stuart, how are you, mate?
Well, I'm just in from work.
Are you just back in from the day job, yeah?
Yeah, I'm just in for the day job. Back to the normal.
There you are. Back to earth with a thump, eh, mate? Yeah.
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 Yeah, I've got the world's blues.
It is a thing, though. It's real. Yeah. But also joining us is your pipe major, Cammy Wilson. How you doing, Cammy? You well?
Very well, thank you. Much the same as Stuart. Just kind of recovering from World's Week and just getting prepared for the winter, really, already. Things are starting to get in place, so not really any time off for pipe majors, unfortunately.
No, you're straight into the thick of it again, mate. You know, tune selections,
Absolutely.
Getting new reads and all that for them. Oh, here, the long list ever continues, doesn't it, mate? There you go.
Absolutely.
Also joining us on the call is Adrian Smighton. Adrian, how are you, mate?
Not so bad.
Have you just
Tired.
about recovered from the Worlds? Yeah?
Yeah, just a bit hard to get motivated for work again.
Yeah. When that alarm clock goes off, it's not funny. Sure.
No.
Oh, no joke. Also joining us is Ewan. Now, Ewan, I have to say, mate, you were an absolute legend at the Worlds. We're going to talk about your work in Glasgow, but, mate, how are you?
I'm like everyone. I'm good today, but I'm like, I really am getting the blues. It's shocking. It's almost like grief.
It is, yeah.
I think we should have the Worlds every weekend. Yeah.
They should do. They should do something about that, shouldn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And also, of course, joining us on the call is the Oracle, Scott Cunningham. How are you, Oracle? Are you well?
I'm good. I'm much like everybody else. Just the whole week's caught up with me. I'm tired, but I'm back to work too. But
oh, That's
Just
it.
looking forward to get back into the hall, start going a bit like Cammy, getting ready for new music and stuff, and see what next season holds.
Yeah, there you go. And seeing what surprises the lead tipper has for you. Right, we're playing this. Yeah. There you go. But yes, that Monday morning alarm clock post-Worlds is horrific. So for anyone else that is suffering post-Worlds blues right now, we're right there with you. We're all in it. Of course, here in Northern Ireland, though, we're not done with the season. There are a few minors still left, even across in Scotland as well. You know, the season's not completely finished yet. We have competition coming up this weekend, the Hardo Down Championships in Newcastle, County Down, where we're going to crown our champion of champions and all that sort of stuff, and a bit of an end-of-season party, really. Stuart and Cammy, have you guys got competitions across in Scotland this weekend yourselves?
We've got the Isle of Bute Highland Games in Rothesay, so we'll take both bands over there and have a bit of an end-of-season celebration.
There
We
you go.
compete as well. But yeah, we'll just enjoy ourselves and just celebrate the good efforts of both bands before a bit of downtime. And yeah, so finish up historically we've always finished up at Rothesay or Cowell. But yeah, Rothesay this year, and we'll enjoy ourselves certainly.
There you go. Because, yeah, Kyle was always kind of the big end-of-season party. Like, I have some really happy memories of walking down to Noon Main Street that were very hazy. I still don't really... I don't fully remember them, but I heard the stories. You know, one of those. Anyway, so if you are out competing this weekend, wherever you are across the globe, we do wish you the very best. Enjoy your end of season. And anyway, we're about to get into everything in the World Championships. So we are going to talk about all of our predictions and where they landed. But first of all, I do want to talk about the various aspects of the Worlds that sits outside of the competition. Can we first of all talk about one of the biggest topics, security? Yeah. Those folks in yellow coats, and everyone all rolled their eyes at once. That was amazing. See, yeah. If you folks can see the Zoom call right now, yeah, everyone in yellow jackets, especially on the Saturday, I feel really let their presence be felt. You know, I've heard so many horrific stories about people being refused entry. They've had stuff confiscated, they've bag searches, and just a really heavy hand by the security staff at this year's World Championships. First of all, I'm going to throw it to Scott. Have you had any experiences for the folks in yellow coats this past weekend?
To be fair, this year I found it not too bad for myself personally. It was more just the Friday, me and Adrian was taking the gazebos down for the band.
Yeah.
And they were trying to make us go through where the box office used to be, the wee side gate.
Yes.
Adrian had to say to the security guard, like, there's not a chance I'm taking this trolley for this. To which another one stepped forward and kind of says, use your head, like, they'll not get through there. And then the only other one was when we come out to the 4B band yourselves on the Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
We come to the gate and the fella made us walk the whole way back round as if you were going to go down to the river and come round again.
So he made
But
you
yet he
walk
would let us,
a
but
lap
yet
of
he
the
let us
park.
back in the same gate he refused to let us out. So it didn't make sense. Like, you know, on one side of it he's refusing you, but on the other side it's like, just come on in.
Yeah. Just
But-
really inconsistent, really. Yeah.
But bar for that, personally, I hadn't too many problems with him this year, but a bit like yourself, I heard plenty of stories and stuff as usual. But
Yeah, that's it. So, Adrian, you were having trouble with the gazebos and being put in a bit of a tour of the world to get in? Yeah.
It wasn't really that it was trouble getting in. It was just the way he wanted us to take them in, trying to get the trolley out over a big caravan through that narrow entrance. But
Lovely.
to be honest, we had no problem ourselves with security.
There you go. Excellent. Well, that's a positive review right there. Brilliant.
Like, Victoria walked through with an open tin of drink and never even stopped or questioned it or anything.
Right. Well, was that
Well, the
tin
drink was Red
alcoholic?
Bull, but
Or-
yeah.
There you go. So, yeah, it was a soft drink for anyone listening.
Yes,
There you go.
it was.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It kind of flies in the face. You know, I'm really glad that you folks had positive experiences, you know, but a lot of the stuff that we've been getting here, especially in Weekly Drone, poor JD, he's going to be sick of talking about these guys in yellow coats. But yeah, they did seem to have quite a number of negative reviews. Ewan, had you any run-ins with the security yourself?
The only issue that I had is on the Saturday when I went back to park, because Friday, the field was only 50 foot wide where we parked. So on the Friday, we parked beside the little path bit to get in. On the Saturday, the young guy decided you can't park there. We had to park at the other side of the park. And I said, for what reason? He said, because they want the cars that come in the afternoon to be at the front, which didn't make sense. It was really confusing.
Right.
And one of the officials who's obviously has mobility problems, he just said to him, I'm absolutely not, I'm going right to the front, try and stop me, But yeah, that was the only thing I've experienced. But I did see them watching them pouring drinks out for people, and someone else went past at a full picnic and let them in. So I just, yeah. Do I think we need them? No. We went for years without them.
Exactly.
We don't need them.
Yeah.
We don't need them.
I think that's in my notes here for the conclusion. Yeah, for sure. But no, I agree. There's been inconsistency, I think, is the name of the game here, and that's what we're experiencing. Stuart, what about yourself? Any run-ins with the yellow coats?
Not personally. Where I got in was next to where our arena was, Arena 8, which was on the far end.
Oh, yeah.
Up by the West Bar.
Mm-hmm.
And the final tuning was actually outside the park. So they had to have a gate open.
Yeah.
So we walked in there, but one of our drummers, Brian, was there on the Friday, and he was asked to pour out his flask of coffee. He brought himself a wee picnic, yeah.
Aye.
Flask of coffee, and he was asked, no, you can't bring that in. So it's a bit extreme.
That is, yeah. And he was a competitor too, like in uniform. Yeah.
No, this was the Friday. He was going in on the Friday just to have a listen, and that was his experience. I don't understand why you have to pour out a flask of coffee.
Don't know. Yeah, that as you say, that does sound a bit extreme. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's extreme.
Yeah. Cammy, what about yourself, mate? Did you experience any run-ins?
Just a bit of a witness, and actually just talking about that gate at Arena 8. There was no problem for competitors coming in and out of there. However, I did witness a few spectators who had maybe been out and were coming back in. The steward had directed them all the way back around to the other side of the park, even though they had already been into the park.
Yeah.
But it was an entrance with a security guard there, so didn't really make any sense to me. Why have an entrance there if you can't go in the entrance? But yeah, generally it seemed okay. Like I was able to waltz in on Saturday morning with my pipe, didn't get my pipe bag searched or anything like that. So that seemed pretty reasonable. But I think the entrance thing just didn't really make any sense to me. If you're not going on an entrance that spectators can't come in, then it's not really an entrance to the park, is it?
No, exactly. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. So that's the story I think I'm hearing here is the inconsistencies. We're hearing stories of people that were able to just breeze past them, not a problem, and we're able to bring, as we mentioned there, like a full picnic. Drinks, sandwiches, everything, brilliant, happy days. And then there was others that got severely harassed and were almost refused entry into the park in some cases. I do have my own story where I was refused entry into the park. Now, that's an entertaining story and will be on my on-the-ground report because I kind of got on my high horse a wee bit. I listened back to the recordings and I think that's hilarious. I have to put that in. I kind of go on a bit of a rant. But yeah, both times I came in the morning, it was me and the security guys opening the place. And both times, bag got searched. They went through everything in my pipe case. I have one of those strike cases, from Marchify. Shameless plug. Very nice case, but it has loads of little compartments and stuff for you to put stuff. And I had to open every one of those. And yeah, just a bit overzealous. And I think you said it best. Do we need them? I don't believe we do. I think the piping crowd police ourselves. Very rarely, if ever, have I seen problems, security problems at the World Championships. It's not your usual music festival where people will be getting tanked up and then going for a punch-up. That doesn't happen at a pipe band competition. Sure, people go to the beer tent and they get merry, but I've never once seen it where things get out of control. Pipe banders like to police themselves and they're there representing their band, their organization, and they're not going to bring that into disrepute, by picking a fight with someone. So do we need security staff at it? I would argue no. But that's just my opinion. I would love to know yours, of course. You can email us in bigrabshow@gmail.com. All right, a couple more things I wanted to talk about, the Worlds in general. Second thing was food options. Now, I can't tell you how much money I spent on food at the Worlds, because it was super expensive. But everything I had was really tasty, actually, to be fair. Was it worth the price I paid? Probably not. 20 quid for a burger and a ball of Iron Brew, and nearly had a heart attack. Anyway, so has anyone any food experiences they want to share? I'm going to start with Scott. Did you have anything tasty, mate?
I'm going to sound like just speaking about last year as well. Our go-to now is always the salt and chili chicken cart.
Oh, yeah, I was there again this year. Yeah, I was thinking about you when I seen it.
After we watched Louise in that All's final on the Saturday, we went and got some. And just by chance, Field Marshal was tuning up, so it was like dinner and a show.
Match made in heaven.
It was like £14 for a big tub of salt and chili chicken and salt and chili chips curry sauce. So
there you go.
For I look at the event as like festival prices in that regard. I didn't think it was too badly priced, that way, for the portion wise and all.
That's true.
But the same, once you bought two of them and drinks, you're talking about
it's
£35, like
good chunk of change.
But I can't really say much in any other food options. Or
there you go. Adrian, did you eat anything weird or wonderful at the Worlds?
No, just before the finale, I went down and we got ourselves. I got a battered black pudding and chip, and Victoria got, I think it was salted chicken and chips.
Nice.
But I hadn't seen any other bands. We're sort of around the same price as any of the majors. I didn't notice really a big difference.
I see. Well, that's a good thing. Yeah. There you go. I had a haggis supper down in the Trader Village on the Saturday, and mate, it was the best haggis I've ever had. Honest to goodness. I don't know which van it was or even who the company was, but fair play to them. If you were there serving haggis suppers on the Saturday, you're a legend. Yeah, I would have paid twice as much for that. Ewan, what about yourself, mate? Did you sample any of the food options?
I did, and I also went for the salt and chili chicken with the
Did we all have that?
Do you know what? I'm truly thinking about it now. It was really nice, but yeah, it was 14 quid. But I did have supplies in my car, so because I was fortunate I could park there, so I was backwards and forwards when I needed to. But yeah, that's salt and chili. It was really nice. But I'm now frustrated that I missed the haggis supper.
Oh, mate,
I don't know how
it was special. Yeah. It really was. There was me and Ryan out of Cullabaccy standing eating. Now, he was eating this like salady thing with chicken and like veg in it and stuff, and there's me eating a big deep fried haggis. It was class. Yeah, he was very jealous. So, Stuart, what about yourself, mate? Did you sample anything nice?
On the Friday, I had the salt and chili chips.
Hey!
But on the Saturday, bringing the family in, we just brought a picnic in and sat in the gazebo and saved ourselves a couple £100.
There you go. You guys had quite a setup, though. Like, I went down to visit your tent and everything, and you had a full kitchen there. It was awesome.
Almost. The only thing that's missing is a microwave.
Yeah, that's maybe the only thing that wasn't there. It was incredible. And I also seen quite an innovative idea where you guys, like, there's a bagpipe stand built into a table. Now, we'll maybe talk more about that in a future show. But, man, what an amazing idea that is. Leftover drumsticks and bits and bobs in a garage, and you built a bagpipe stand. Brilliant.
Yeah, that was Jeff's idea. And I think the pipers love it. I don't know. Maybe Cammy can.
What do you think, Cammy? Yeah, what do you think of it?
Yeah, it's a brilliant idea, and literally all it is a plastic table with drumsticks and some washers. But yeah, Jeff Rimmer, the bass drummer, he came up with this idea, and we prototyped it in his garage. I brought my pipes and was like, "This is brilliant." And it just means between your blowdown and when you get the pipes back out, you can sit the pipes without them going back in your case. And they're all getting acclimatized at the same time. I could probably talk like loads about the technicalities of it and be really boring, but it's just a brilliant idea. And like I think we should patent it and sell it to every band.
There you go.
Brilliant idea.
Yeah, and the Audi can raise some funds that way, couldn't they? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Patent pending. There we go. We're giving away design ideas here in the Rab Show. But absolutely. And yeah, so did you sample any of the chili chicken yourself then, Cammy?
No, I steered clear of the chili chicken. Maybe a couple of burgers sampled on the Saturday afternoon, but the belter for me was the breakfast roll in the morning that I got on Saturday.
Oh, stop.
It was a big brekkie or whatever it was
They were
called, about £7,
amazing.
but it was link sausage, bacon, and tatty scone.
Mhm.
And like, yeah, I probably wouldn't pay £7 for it anywhere else, but it was absolutely divine. It just set me up for the day for Saturday because I was there obviously early for the 4B guys. So
Yeah,
that and a bottle of Iron Brew early in the day was just perfect.
there you go.
But other than that, there was a couple of burgers maybe on the Saturday afternoon or a tenner or whatever, but
Yeah,
just part and parcel, really, isn't it?
it is. Yeah, and I think Scott, you said it best, like festival prices. You know, whenever you're looking at food and alcohol and stuff like that, you know, you have to think of it. These vendors are looking at this like a festival, you know, and that's how they're pricing things. But yeah, completely agree. That breakfast roll was like a doorstop. It was brilliant. It set me up for the day. It was magic. So yeah, to everyone that did visit the food stalls, I think I've heard nothing but glowing reviews. I've yet to speak to anyone that visited the Greek gyro one, or gyro, I can't pronounce it correctly, but I'm sure everyone's seen it. I just didn't know anybody that sampled it. I'm still curious as to what the heck they are. They look delicious, but I've no idea what a gyro or gyro is. So anyway, I'll be Googling that. But yeah, food options were great. Now, third thing and final thing, outside of the music and competing, let's talk Portaloo review. Yippee! So has anybody got any horrific stories from Portaloos? Cammy, I'm going to start with yourself, mate. Any experiences with really bad Portaloos?
No, Portaloos themselves, I think they were generally okay. Again, just being down in that sort of Arena 8 earlier sort of area down the backside, it was just a bit of a constant queue on the Saturday.
Yeah,
because it was the only Portaloo kind of on that side of the park.
Mm-hmm.
But I must say, on the Friday, I visited the Portaloos, or the permanent toilets right beside sort of Grade 1 Final Tuning Arena.
Oh,
I must say those were spotless on the Friday. But yeah, generally they were okay. There was no really, but just the queue on just being that only toilet facility on the far side of the park for like Arena 8 and 7 and kind of anywhere around that further side. But generally it was fine. There was not really any big issues for me.
Good stuff. Stuart, what about yourself, mate? Any grim experiences?
Just towards the end of the day, they were getting a bit grim. Like Cammy says, there was a slight lack of them up at that end of the park. Yeah. So they were.
This was up around
quite often.
Back of People's Palace. For people who don't know, this is up like the big glass house is the other side of that. Yeah,
just up that end. But I did use the ones that were next to the Needle.
The posh ones, yes.
The posh ones, yeah, they were immaculate, yeah. So
there you go.
Swings and roundabouts, so...
Yeah, you had to walk for a bit, but you got a very glamorous whittle if you went and visited those. There you go. Yeah. Ewan, what about yourself, man? Any terrible experiences in Portaloos?
No, I just went to the posh ones at the Needle too.
Oh, you only went to the posh ones?
Yeah, I went to the posh ones, yeah. And they were grand. There was no queue. It was just in and out. It was grand.
There you go.
They were fairly clean, yeah.
Excellent. So you weren't slumming it like us with the Blue Thunder boxes then, no?
No. Oh, no. No, definitely not.
Not with the commoners. No, not at all. Adrian, what about yourself, mate? Any experiences?
No, we'd used the ones there at the end of the Drum Major Arena. I seen ones coming out of some of the Portaloos sort of torn near a wee bit, but anything that I'd used down that end, no problems with them.
Excellent. There you go. Scott, what about you, mate?
We were the same, so we were using the ones down beside the People's Palace.
Yeah.
It seemed to be as the day went on the Friday, they were getting full.
Right.
So, but I seen cleaners and stuff coming in. Hold on.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. That there was people maintaining them. You know, there was teams of people like walking around on the Friday looking after them. Yeah.
And then on the Saturday, same as Cammy said, it just got a bit backed up half the time. But
yeah,
the one thing I noticed was like they nearly could have better signage in some of them, because on that row alone there was one that looked like a disabled Portaloo, but it was actually urinals inside it. So like you had a lot of people queuing that just needed a wee, but they were queuing. So when I come out of it, I said to a couple of people that I recognised, was like, if that's all you're doing.
There's
that's
urinals in there, yeah.
So there's the only other thing we noticed was as the finale was starting, the wife took the wee girl to the toilet, and it was one near the drum majors. They were starting to cable tie some of them closed.
Oh no!
So
that's a bad sign.
So I don't know if they're full or they were just starting to shut them up.
Yeah, do not enter. Oh boy.
Yeah.
There you go. Now, we have had some reports here to Rab Show, and some of them are pretty grim, where people have had their clothing ruined, and like I don't know. One of the ones that we got was from someone who had quite an expensive pair of trainers and went into a portaloo and used the flush function in the portaloo, and the flush function kind of slushed everything out of it and over his expensive pair of trainers. Now, I'm not going to name the person because that's such a horrible story. But I don't know. If you're bringing real expensive trainers with you to the Worlds, come on, that's asking for trouble. You know? It is, though, because, you know, if you get real bad weather at the Worlds, it can get really muddy and claggy and all that. So not to be wearing your best £300 trainers, like, you know what I mean? So anyway, do so at your own risk, but I'm not making excuses for some of the conditions of the portaloo. Some of them were ropey. And as you say, towards the end of the Saturday, yeah, some of the smells weren't too nice. Anyway, but portaloo review, there was plenty on offer, but yeah, you had to walk to get the posh ones. There we go. But yeah, portaloo review on the Big Rab Show. There we go. Thank you, everybody. Right, let's actually get into our drum majors, the action inside the circle itself. First of all, we're going to kick off with our juniors, and can I say, the competition at the junior arena seemed to be incredibly hotly contested, because whenever you look at the results here for all 18 in there, there's quite a number here that had to be split on M&D preference. Yeah. So can we say congratulations to Harry Couples? Yes, congratulations, Harry, world champion. Second was Hannah Campbell. Third, Willow Rose Elliott. Fourth, on M&D preference, Rosie McKinstry. Fifth, Molly Bell. And in sixth, Grace Murdoch. And that was your top six there. So, how did you folks fare out in your predictions for our junior level? Did anybody get them correct?
Yes, I did predict Harry Couples as the junior drum major.
There you go. Happy days. Well done, Cammy. What about yourself, Scott? Did you get it right, Oracle?
I'm along with Cammy. I had Harry as my dark horse.
Okay.
Willow Rose Elliott as a dark horse.
Yeah.
Adrian had explained to me that I had Charlotte Adamson to win it, but he was explaining that they actually weren't over.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay. Okay. But anybody else have Harry in the top list there? I had Harry as a dark horse myself now. No, Stuart shaking his head. Adrian, I think might have mentioned them, I think, in whenever we were discussing it.
Harry as a dark horse, yeah.
There you go.
I didn't at all.
No, that's, yeah. But there we go. See, with the junior drum majors, as I've said, it was ultra competitive. And, you know, all you have to do is look at the summary sheets yourself and you can see just how tight the contest was. So well done to all of our juniors. Full congratulations. And to all of you who did place in that top six, well done. But to anyone that, you know, competed at all, you're a winner. So fantastic. So well done to everyone. I do know that there was a good number of them in the junior grade. I think this was their first Worlds as well. Now, that might be stuff that Rab got wrong, but I do believe that was the case. Anyway, so let's move on to our juvenile grade then. And yeah, congratulations to Carries Graham. Yes. Well done, Carries, world champion. In second place was Lydia Todd. Third place was Georgia Turkington. In fourth place, Catherine Spears. In fifth was Debbie Gilmer. And in sixth place on M&D preference was Tia Craig from Burnt Island. There you go. That was your drum majors in their juvenile. But now, again, this could be stuff that Rab got wrong. But has Carries been in many people's list then for the predictions?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we all give her a shout, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
There we go. So, no, congratulations. And in seeing the photographs and stuff of Carrie's lifting the trophy, seemed to be quite emotional about it too. There's quite a number of tears and stuff. So, just fantastic to see. So, right, moving on to our adult grade then. I'm breezing through these drum majors here because honestly, I am not a drum majoring expert, but I will turn to Adrian at the end here to see if he can give us his final thoughts. But yeah, congratulations to our adult senior drum major, world champion, Jamie Copples. Come on, Jamie, you legend. Well done. And second place, Charlotte Ruddock. Third place, Catherine McKeown. In fourth place on M&D Preference was Cara Gilmer. In fifth place, Rebecca Cox. And in sixth place was Louise Smighton from Closkelt. Go on, Louise. There you go. So, yeah, well done, Jamie. So, Adrian, you were down there at the drum majors for the majority of the day, and I actually caught a good bit of the adult final. But what was your feeling on the adult final yourself?
Watching the two heats for the final, very hard to pick between them.
Yeah, it was kind of
very
crazy.
Hard. Everyone was very close with them. No, the standard was unbelievable from the adults this year.
Yeah, I did spend a bit of time down at the DMs myself, just watching the final, and I have no idea how our drum majors do what they do. All right, I have such a crazy respect for them. It is its own art form, and yeah, well done to everyone in there. So yeah, we do hope that at the point of me recording this week's reaction pod that we will have video action from the drum majors. Just hasn't been published yet. I do have them, I just haven't published them, so that's on me. But yeah, overall, Adrian, outside of the adults as well, going to our juveniles and juniors, what's your thoughts and feelings about just the drum majoring action in general at the Worlds? How have you found it?
It's been interesting this year, and it's been enjoyable for what I have seen. Now, this year was slightly different with the Worlds. The only drum majors that I get to see were the two adult finals.
Right, yeah. There you go.
I didn't get a chance to get down between ourselves with qualifying and everything, so... There
we go. Yeah, and we were at two completely opposite ends of the park as well. Yeah, so a challenging day for sure. But to all of the drum majors that we give a shout out to in our prediction pod, and, well, to all of you that lifted silverware, well done to all of you. Fantastic. And if you didn't lift silverware at all, doesn't matter. I know this sounds like an old cliche, but honestly, like if you're in that arena competing in the first place, that's a win, So well done to all of you.
When it comes to junior drum majors, I looked at the draw, and the two names that stuck out to me was Willow Rose Elliott and Harry Couples, probably because their name has been appearing in a lot of Big Rab's hashtag lists. I think between the two, I probably would have put money on Harry Couples, but maybe not necessarily for Harry's sake, but because I've been watching a lot of the live stream and videos of the Royal Edinburgh Military Tattoo this season. And the other couples, Sarah, is one of the drum majors working that awesome show. So if you haven't checked out the REMT this year, definitely do. I've got a couple of friends that are in the REMT band this season, and they are doing an excellent job. But as for the World Championships, congrats to Harry on your first place. When it comes to the juvenile drum majors, three names stuck out to me from Big Rab's hashtag lists: Georgia Turkington, Carrie Graham, and Lydia Todd. Checking past results, I probably would have put money on Carrie Graham taking first, but it really could be any of the three. And looking back at the results, it was those three. Congrats to Carrie's on your first. Looking at the adult drum majors, oh man. My first list of people that I thought could be in the top three had 13 people. And so I had to scrap that list and go back and come up with another list of people that I thought could win. My list looked a lot like everybody else's list. I had Emma Barr as my most probable winner, with Jamie Couples and Louise Smighton taking my second and third most likely winners in either order, not in any particular order. My international dark horse calls, I think if anybody from outside the UK was going to take it, it was going to be either Jason Bacchiao or one of the guys from the Royal Army of Oman. And looking at the results, I think it was a bit of an upset. Well, a bit different than we expected. Congrats to Jamie Couples on that first place. But second through sixth place was not quite what we were looking at. And an interesting result that I saw was the Mesa Caledonian drum major, Zach. was the best international finisher, even ahead of Jason Pacquiao. So congrats to Zach, and best wishes to all the drum majors in the adult section, and congrats to Jamie.
Right, we're going to wrap it up there with our drum majors, but before we do, I'm going to do a little bit of an announcement about drum majors. All right, I was down in the drum major arena during the World Championships, and I was talking to a good number of drum majors that were there, and I was asking them about our World Championship prediction podcast. I said, "Hey, did you manage to have a listen to episode 500? We were talking about predictions at the drum majorings, and what are your thoughts?" And a lot of them, honestly, was thinking, it's nice to get a shout out and everything, if you do mention the person's name, but it does add a lot of pressure. Because drum majoring world is different. The band world is a collective. It's a bunch of people. But whenever you're singling individuals out in a drum major arena, it can add a lot of pressure. And unnecessarily so. Yeah. So with that in mind, I know in previous years we've always looked at drum majors and we tried to pick winners and all that. And we've done so successfully and unsuccessfully. I do think for 2027 that we're not going to look at drum majors going forward. Just for that reason, that we don't want to add any additional pressure onto any of our competitors. Now, that's junior, juvenile, adult, doesn't matter. We don't think that going forward that it's a positive thing to do, to be adding extra pressure onto our drum majors who are already under a serious amount of pressure, Because people then were going up to them and say, "Hey, I heard Big Rab and the guys give you a shout on their show this week." Well, that just adds to the whole nerves of it all. So that's my thoughts. Anybody else have any thoughts on that? Scott, what do you think, man?
Mine's slightly off topic, but I wanted to say, just for anybody that didn't realise, your senior adult drum major and your junior world champion drum major are brothers.
That's right, yeah. Harry
but the
and Jamie both.
The one thing I wanted to add in is, as much it's the individual and it's on their own performance, I think sometimes people forget about the backgrounds, the parents helping them out with dress, the early mornings, their teachers helping them get their routines right, or maybe their own routines. As you say, maybe that is the way forward, not to put pressure on them, because obviously it is an individual category, but you have that backroom collective in a roundabout way, a bit like a band, but they go unsung.
Absolutely. The Formula One pit crew, as we've been joking about before, where everyone steps in to fix kilts and socks and laces and all that. So, I don't know. Ewan, what are your thoughts on the drum majoring world? We're going to step back from predictions. What do you think about that?
I think you're right. If it is putting pressure on them, and again, I knew not a lot about the drum majors, and it is only this year that, like Scott says, it's the team there. They've got little platforms that are on there, and there is a team of people making sure everything's right. It's things that you don't see, and I would say to anybody, if you ever go to a band contest, go and watch the drum majors.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely go. Just go and learn some. But yeah, I think it's right, especially like with all of them. Yeah, it's the world. You're already anxiety, and if that's going to create extra pressure for them, then yeah, it's probably best that we wish them all luck. Obviously we do, but yeah, let's not put too much pressure on them.
Absolutely. Stuart, what do you think yourself, mate? Stepping away from the drum majoring ring for predictions. It'll certainly make our life easier, I suppose, trying to figure it all out.
I was just about to say that's a couple of less things we need to worry about when it comes to the pod prediction. I think that the pressure would be off them if you could probably name them all, but you need an extra half hour on the podcast to do that. So I think that'd be a good thing.
Yeah, do you know what I have a wee suggestion. I'm going to sprinkle this in at this point. We have a piping podcast. We talk about bands and the music and all that. Why hasn't anyone done a drum majoring podcast? I'm just going to float that idea out there. Whoever's listening, there's a gap in the market right there. You can do a drum majoring pod. So, Cammy, what do you think? Do you think you could host the next drum majoring podcast?
I could, yeah. It would be really rubbish, though. Just seeing as I don't know. I know enough about drum majoring. And I've total respect for the art form. I think it is just really, really impressive. I think one of the coolest things is just one if, say, whoever wins grade 1 or whatever, marching off the park, and you've got a drum major, just an excellent drum major in front of you, just launching the mace about. It just adds something really cool to it. But yeah, I think that's a totally fair comment from the guys. Ultimately, we are just here having a bit of fun, and predicting. However, if the same name's getting mentioned and whatever over and over, maybe it does add that pressure. Just wanted to say as well, I think I could be totally wrong here, but does Caris's win not make her a Grand Slam champion this year? I could be totally wrong on that front, but I think she won all 5. I think she's the only Grand Slam champion of this year, which is like for any year ever in any grade or drum major or bands. That's really, really, really impressive. She should be really proud of herself and the team around her as well.
Absolutely. Oh, full congratulations to Cara. Yeah, you're quite right in mentioning that. Yeah. So we'll give her a round of applause. Go on, Caris. But yeah, it's clearly very emotional lifting that trophy, and I don't think she's quite hit the ground just yet. She's still up in the clouds. But no, full congratulations for sure. Yeah. So as much as we're stepping away from, drum majoring predictions, that doesn't mean that we're stepping away from drum majoring commentary, because we're absolutely going to continue following this scene with interest. We're just not going to try and predict winners going forward, because we just don't think it's the right thing. There we go. Adrian, I know for yourself, obviously Louise finished in the prizes as well. I'm sure she was dead chuffed, actually. She had a big silly smile on her face.
So proud of her. Whenever Victoria phoned up to say she'd made the final, and then by the time they got up to us at the gazebo, a guy goes to Louise, I don't care whether you're placing the prizes or not here, you've made this final 8.
Yeah.
So proud of you. So no, even to get placed 6th, big bonus for her.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. So please pass on our congrats. Yeah. There you go. So I didn't get a chance to her after or even during the final and all that, because she was very in the zone. But yeah, understandable for sure. But no, congratulations, Louise. And to everyone who was in that bracket, to all of you, well done. All right. I think at this point we are going to take ourselves a wee break, and we'll be right back with all of the news and updates, I suppose, from the World Youth Championships? ? Ever wish you had a piping teacher on call 24/7? Well, now you do. Introducing the Interactive Player, a game-changing new practice tool at Dojo University. Play along with world champion pipers while the notes on your sheet music light up in time. Loop tricky phrases, slow down tough sections, zoom in to focus, and build speed automatically. It's like having a teacher right in your practice room, showing you how to master every tune at your own pace. So, sign up for a free trial today at pipersdojo.com and start learning smarter with Dojo U's Interactive Player. And we're back, and we're about to chat about all of our novice grades who had, pretty much half a day dedicated to them. And that was on the Friday of the World Championships. And first of all, before we get into talking about the bands themselves, we need to talk about the Friday at the Worlds, because it was quite a packed day. We had all the action in the Grade 1 circle, but then all of our Grade 2 big guns were also duking it out in the ridiculous grade. And as we now know, there was those that made it through and those that didn't. And man, what a competitive day in Grade 2. That ridiculous grade did not disappoint. Scott, I'm going to turn to you first of all, mate. Obviously, being in that circle in the ridiculous grade, man, I don't know how you done it. It's insanely high standard in there.
It seemed to be fair that morning, because obviously it started very early. We were on at 10:30, so I'd been down in the morning with Adrian setting up the gazebos, and as soon as we had the gazebos set up, the band was starting to practice.
Yeah,
and we practiced beside the beer tent, and then just kept moving for the arena. Before you knew it, you were on and you were off. But unfortunately, it didn't go our way. But to be fair, when we come off, the band was all hugging. Everybody was smiling like we were happy with how we played. But obviously, it's down to the judges. But it didn't get easier not getting through. But as I say, at least the band was happy with our performance. But some of the performances from some of the bands, the top 3 alone were in our heat. Who finished in the top 3?
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah. That's
it's
it.
not really a shocker.
No.
You know what I mean?
These bands were incredible. Like another level of good. And like I've been listening to these bands all season, but yet at the Worlds it seemed to step up again, even though you didn't think that was possible. Did you find that was the case? Yeah.
The overseas bands, we had talked on the last podcast about like Ulster Scottish and stuff like that, but we hadn't seen much from like Pipe Band Club and stuff like that, and not very much from North Stratton and even bands like that. So I actually found the overseas bands nearly... Shock's probably the wrong word, but you maybe underrated them a wee tiny bit.
Just because you haven't seen them. Yeah, that's it.
But then when they come and then, as you would talk about, the blew the socks clean off you, you're like, we're playing against that.
Yeah, you're like, oh no.
But fair dues, like everybody's put in hard work for their own band, but it's just the way it goes sometimes, like so.
Yeah, there were some of those performances on the Friday in grade 2 that I will never forget. Like, just seeing North Stratton roll off the line, goosebump stuff. Like, it was electric. And same for the Ulster Scottish as well. Had a clinker of a run. Yeah, it's these bands that you don't get to see day and daily that really kind of stood out as being amazing. Yeah. But fair play to Tullylagan as well. I thought you guys did have a cracking run. Sounded magic outside, and you'll hear that all on the ground report, by the way. Well, I wax lyrical about these. But also, I have to give a shout to Manor Cunningham as well. Manor Cunningham and St. Joseph's as well, all from this side of the pond, I guess, all had cracking runs, played really, really well, but again, didn't make it through. But I think that's the problem with grade 2 here, Adrian. I'm going to get your thoughts here. You're a good run in amongst a pile of other good runs in grade 2, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. Like, that's why we call it the ridiculous grade.
Yeah.
As Scott was saying, I was down for the band for the qualifying run, and I think that's the best I had heard them all season with it.
Yeah.
And everybody coming off buzzing and happy with the run.
That's it. And I've seen a good number of bands doing that as well, all coming off, snapping selfies, and some were crying. It was so good. So, yeah, very emotional for some. Yeah. So, Ewan, you were actually in the circle filming that heat there in Arena 2 for grade 2. Tell us what it was like actually being in there, mate.
It's probably the best ever experience I've ever had at the Worlds.
Wow, there's a statement. Yeah.
Like in the qualifiers, everyone's saying we don't see a lot of the overseas bands. When the band club came on after the officials, I was like, what the heck's just happened?
Yeah.
It was stunningly good. Great performance. Also, the harmonies and things, just listen, and because I actually paid attention to what they were doing this time, it was really enjoyable, and I thought, I'm glad I'm here and I'm not in grade 1.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not listening to grade 1. It's just because, but it was so good. But the qualifier, I enjoyed all the bands. I don't think there was really, really a bad performance there. But I was only filming the heat to the qualifiers, and I was thinking, I wonder how great the qualifier was going on, but most of the qualifiers seemed to be from the heat that I was filming. But it was just phenomenal. And of course, in the morning, was it Saturday morning? I was in the arena with royalty. We had Bob Marley and Terry Lee, and I'm thinking, this is just strange, but and having a bit of crack with them, and then Shauna Hilda and things. It was just, it was an experience. But it was, as they said to me the week before, grade 2 is that's the place to be.
It is.
Another thing was, I was on and actually at the final, I looked around that arena and I seen Richard Park standing. You see, there was a few big pipe standing, and they were at the grade 2.
All standing listening to the ridiculous grade. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, it was definitely enjoyable and probably the best experience I've ever had at the World, apart from winning. Ironically, which is actually my last win, was 13 years exactly today.
Oh, really? Oh, there you go. Happy World's anniversary. There you go.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
But phenomenal. It was just, it's so good.
Yeah.
So good. And it's just a shame that I thought there was bands that were going to get through that didn't get through. Like, for example, the Lagan, I thought they've done enough here. But, you're just up against people. It's just, don't know what to do. They switch a turbo switch or something on. They do that, just that little bit extra. But Yeah.
Oh, there you go. I think you're right. Every band does step it up a little notch for the world. Yeah. So, Stuart, what are your thoughts on the ridiculous grade and the qualifyings on the Friday?
Just hearing them on the tuning part, you're like, wow. It's going to be really difficult for the judges to pick the qualifiers, but obviously they have to at the end of the day. I don't think I could go back to play to grade 2. I wouldn't want to put myself under that pressure.
Yeah, it's intense though, isn't incredible. It? Yeah, you can feel it. That there's pressure there. Yeah. So no, I agree with you. I think even if I was considering stepping in back in that grade 2 circle, I would think twice. Such a tough grade. Yeah. Cammy, any thoughts on the Friday, mate, on the grade 2 qualifying?
Yeah, I think it was just a fantastic day. Friday the Worlds is generally one of my favourite days just because I'm not competing. So I have the opportunity to just get a good listen. I was rooming in Glasgow with a good friend he plays in grade 1, so we were there quite early for the MSR. And I managed to catch also Scottish right at the start of it. I think they were fairly early on in the draw.
Yeah.
I just sat and thought, wow, I wish I could go and change my prediction just now, because that was like, I think they qualified with straight ones and they were just excellent. I think just the whole Friday was really good, and grade 2 is just ultra competitive, and the heat that Ewan was filming and listening to, just look at the powerhouses like Ulster Scottish, Annan, Pipe Band Club, Celtic, Texel, for bands like City of Dunedin, Manor Cunningham and Tullylaggan not to qualify, it just goes to show how competitive it is.
There you go.
And it really is fight. When you've only got a March to Spain Rio to show off your talent, it's really, really fine margins to make it through that. So
absolutely.
I was speaking to a friend from Mackenzie, Caledonia. I think they just missed out on the qualifier in 7th, and I thought they were excellent, and maybe thought they had done enough to get through, but it's just so tight. And obviously just getting to listen to the grade 1s just in final tuning or just before final tuning is just a pleasure to listen to on the Friday, having that opportunity to be in your civvies, just go and enjoy the day, and not worrying about like what time your blow down is, what time's your grade 4 playing, this, that and the next thing. Just getting to enjoy a wee bit in a more relaxed setting. So I thoroughly enjoy myself.
Absolutely. I have to agree, the Friday is a different animal, and it isn't more enjoyable because it's a bit of a slower pace. I do get it, but I think I do have a number of final thoughts on grade 2, the qualifying on the Friday. I think the number one thought that I've took away from it is that it was such a shame that we only got to see these bands once, and a good number of them didn't make it through to the Saturday, and I would have loved to have seen them again. Give the band another shot to play twice, So in my head, in my flight home, I was thinking to myself, well, why couldn't we have let our grade 2 guys juke it out on the Friday, juke it out on the Saturday, and then do something similar to what we done on grade 1 and have the combination of both days decide the winner. But instead, we had this qualifying situation where a lot of people's weekends were over by the time Friday closed, which was such a bitter disappointment for a lot of these bands that were just incredible. Another level. So, I don't know, would that be something that our event organizers would look at for future World Championships? Will we give our grade 2 big guns an opportunity to do that? Don't know. We'll have to wait and see how that all works out. But, hey, that's just an idea. But yeah, it's real standout moments for me, as I've said, hearing Ulster Scottish step off at their rollout. Also, North Stratton and those yellow drums. Come on. Oh, and also I have to mention that an end of an era for the folks at Uddingston with Craig Laurie stepping down. I made a real point to go and have a good listen to them, because the band will change next season. There's so many stories in that grade 2 circle. We're going to tackle it in a minute or two, but just wanted to talk about the Friday and the grade 2 action. It was incredible. And the grade 1 action, we all know what happened on the Friday. It was amazing. And all of that live stream is available. You can go back and watch the whole thing. But yeah, unfortunately, we only had the one camera. You couldn't be at 2 places at once, man. So we did have coverage from one of the circles. if we had another camera, we could have tackled both. So if you do want to help us, you do want to put on the purples, email us in, bigrabshow@gmail.com, and we'd happily have another camera to cover things. There you go. So outside of grade 2, let's get into our novice grades then, shall we? And kicking things off with novice B and world champions. Yes, we have the St. Thomas Episcopal School. Go on, St. Thomas, who are absolutely class, I think is the word I want to use. Class. Yeah, fantastic. Well done. In second place was Stirling and District Schools Junior. I do think some of us shouted them out in our predictions. Anyway, moving on. In third place was Dollar Academy. In fourth place was Scots College number 2 from Straya. I've been told I have to pronounce Australia as Straya now. Now that come from actual people from Straya. It tells me I'm saying it correctly. There you go. In fifth place was North Lanarkshire Schools, and in sixth place was Kintyre Schools. But yeah, congratulations to St. Thomas. Yeah. Now, one of the bands that really did stand out to me was the Scots College. I heard their run during qualifying, and they were blistering. And whenever I got to read the summary sheets, you could see they did ace the board at their qualifier in Group 2. Two firsts of piping and drumming ensemble, they lifted the lot there in the group.
Novice Juvenile B. I really had no strong feelings about how that was going to go. I think Dollar is always a safe bet. I had Edinburgh Academy as another potential front runner, and the dark horses from overseas where you can never quite tell how they're going to stack up was the St. Thomas Episcopal Schools and the Scotch College number 2 from down under, especially with the leadership of Mark Saul. I figured they would do pretty well. And my drumming pick was going to be Dollar Academy. So looking at the results, congrats to St. Thomas for your first place and first place in drumming. And hope to see some more of that bling brought back to the United States in the future. Cheers.
I'm going to throw it to the room. Scott, the Oracle, how did your predictions work out for Novice B? Did you get it correct?
No.
No? Oh.
I didn't get the drumming correct, but the closest I got was I had Stirling and District as a dark horse, had Dollar as my winner, so and Kintyre as a dark horse, so I got second, third, and sixth.
I see.
It was the closest I got till it, so
there we go. So it was yourself that shouted out Stirling and District then. I knew someone did.
I think there was somebody else as well, possibly maybe Ewan or Calmy, I think, mentioned them as well.
Ah, right, okay. So Ewan, was yourself then? Did you shout out Stirling?
Yes, I had them as a dark horse along with Dollar, but I can't believe that I forgot about St. Thomas.
Yeah, there you go.
Because I had Scots College number 2 as the winners, but yeah.
There you go. Adrian, what about yourself, mate? Who did you have in Novice B?
I had Dollar for lifting it, but I had Stirling and District and Scots College as the dark horses.
Oh, there you go. Well, we weren't far off then. There you go. Stuart, what would you, mate?
Yeah, I had Dollar for the win, but they were third, and Scotch College fourth. Totally forgot about the Episcopal Schools.
There we go.
Cammy actually messaged me and said, we've completely forgot about them. So,
well, I think this sums it up. There we go.
Yeah, that's it.
Whoa, we got that totally wrong. So, yeah, shout out to St. Thomas, actually. I have went back and listened to a number of their performances, actually, since their win. And, yeah, I think we absolutely dropped the ball here. Yeah. Cammy, what about you? Did you have them in your prediction list?
No, and like I said, I text Stuart, I was like, I actually cannot believe I've not noticed them snuck in the draw there, because I think not too distant past that they have been in the juvenile grade, not a million years ago. I would have had them straight in there, but hindsight's a wonderful thing. But yeah, I had Scotch College to win it. Obviously fourth. Dark horses, I had Edinburgh Academy, they made the final, which is probably an achievement in itself. And then I had drumming. I had Glasgow Academy, which unfortunately I think they just missed out on their qualifier by a couple of points, but they did win the drumming in their qualifier, so I'll take that. There you go. So ultra competitive though. We shout out as well to Preston Lodge for qualifying for the final. Didn't get a prize, but really, really, that's only just recently introduced a third band in Novice B to qualify for the final.
Yeah.
I think in their first attempt is a really, really good effort.
Huge achievement.
And it's just really competitive with 30-odd bands. That's an achievement in itself.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was going to say, I was going to mention the PL, and I did think that band is quite a young band. They haven't been in existence very long. So well done, folks. Also, I have to give a respectable mention to the Isle of Arran Music School. They've been quite a storied success story over this last number of years, and are certainly building to bigger things. And again, qualifying for a final here, placing 7th overall, but I did manage to listen to them outside. It sounded fantastic. So anyway, to all 12 of you that made it through to the final, that's a win, folks. Honestly, we've said it before. If you do qualify, that's beer tent stuff right there. Just go and celebrate with your mates. Yippee! But yeah, congratulations to St. Thomas Episcopal School. We absolutely dropped the ball there. So that's on us. Hey, we will learn for next year. If we see your name in the mix, we'll be shouting you out for sure. Yeah. All right, moving on to Novice A then. And in the top spot, winner on the day, North Lanarkshire Schools. Well done, North Lanarkshire. In second place was George Watson's College, 369. Third was Renfrewshire Schools, 1225. Yes. Oh, I have to say, George Watson's lifted the drumming as well. Forgot to mention that. There you are. Well done, George Watson's. In fourth place was St. Columba's School, Kilmacombe. Yes. In fifth place was Oban High. And sixth place was Lochgilly High, Junior, 1250. There you go. So, world champions, North Lanarkshire. Again, managed to have a good listen to them now. And they were something else. They were really quite cooking that day.
Novice Juvenile A. I really wasn't sure how this could go. I figured George Watson's had been winning some of the prizes this season. My dark horse pick was going to be maybe Oban Schools. And looking at the results, George Watson's took a second, so I was close. Oban, solid fifth, so still in the prizes. And the drumming, I was probably going to put George Watson's as well, and they did take the drumming, so not totally off base there.
Ewan, I'm going to throw it to yourself, mate. Did you manage to see any of the Novice A grade yourself?
Absolutely none, and I'm kicking myself for it. Although I did have North Lanarkshire as a potential winner. Yeah, it's quite frustrating when it's like.
You were working, you were filming, yeah. But so did you have North Lanarkshire in your predictions? You said you had a dark horse, yeah.
Yes, I had them. High School of Dundee, which is and obviously I had George Watson as the winner, but they were second, but they took the drumming. So yeah.
There you go. We'll take that.
Quite pleased. Yeah.
Adrian, what about yourself, mate? How did your predictions fare out then for Novice A?
Well, I had George Watson's for the win, but I had them also for the drumming. But on that, my dark horse was the High School of Dundee.
There you go. I had High School of Dundee as potential winners. Yeah. So, there we go. It's one of those grades. It can be anyone's. Scott, the Oracle, what about yourself, mate? Who did you predict?
I had George Watson's to win it, which obviously finished second, but I had North Lanarkshire Schools as a dark horse.
So you had them in the mix there.
Yeah, and then I had George Watson's for the drumming as well.
Excellent. Yeah, well, that was on the money. Well done, Oracle. Yeah, Cammy, what about yourself, mate? How did you fare out in your predictions?
Yeah, similar to everyone. Obviously, Watson's for the drumming, and they managed to nick it. I had Watson's for the win. Finishing second, then dark horse I did have High School of Dundee. But there were some great bands in there. It was very competitive. I caught just snippets of some of the guys in tune-in. I thought North Lanarkshire were probably well deserving of a first in piping. They're just a very quality tone for Novice A. And just a wee shout out to Lochgilly High School as well. Just finishing in the top 6 at the Worlds. I think this is their first year in Novice A. I think their Novice A got promoted to Juvenile and Novice B up to Novice A.
Right.
So to nick a top 6 in the Worlds in the first attempt is a really good effort. So
absolutely,
again, just some excellent matches being real playing for some really young kids. Just really impressive.
If anything, looking at my notes here, I actually had a note here about their drum corps, in particular their bass section. It just sounded fantastic. A lot of bounce in the Strathspey is what I've written here. So loved that. There you go. So Stuart, what about yourself, mate? Any thoughts on Novice A? How did your predictions fare out?
similar to everybody else, had Watson's for the win. They came second, and Watson's for the winning the drumming, and which they did. I'd Preston Lodge, but I don't think they got anywhere.
No, there you go.
As my dark horse, so I fail on that one on my behalf.
Well, but no, the PL still finished in 9th place overall, so no, well done. Hey, congratulations, North Lanarkshire Schools. As we've mentioned, we do think you're deserved champions, because as we heard you on the day, you were absolutely fantastic, so well done. Yeah, so moving on to our juvenile grade then, and I'm going to throw the door open to Stuart first of all. How did your predictions fare out then, mate, for the juvenile grade?
Not too bad on this one. $1 for the win, which they came in second. Again, George Watson's for the drumming, which they won. St Andrews College were third.
Yeah.
And my dark horse was George Watson's, who won it.
There you go. So yes, in case you haven't heard the results, I haven't went through them. But yeah, first place, George Watson's. Congratulations. With ones right across the board as well. A convincing win. Yikes. Well done, George Watson's. Second place was Dollar Academy. Third was St Andrews College from New Zealand, that we were all excited to see. In fourth place was George Heriot Schools. Fifth was the PL. Go on, the PL. Excellent. And in sixth place, an ensemble preference was Lochgilly High. There you are. So, yeah, you mentioned it there. Not a bad line of predictions there, Stuart. Not too far away.
Yeah, I got them all, but in the wrong order.
Yeah, aye. The right names, wrong order.
Wrong order, yeah.
There we go. We'll take that.
Juvenile. I think everybody agreed that it was going to be either George Watson's or Dollar, unless there was some crazy upset. And my drumming pick was going to be Dollar as well. The dark horse for me, I think the obvious potential upset was St Andrews College from New Zealand. And looking at the results, George Watson's took first, Dollar took second, so I probably would have had those flipped. And I had Dollar for first, but George Watson's beat him out. And St Andrews got third, so dark horse coming up right there in the money. Good work, all. Congrats to George Watson's.
Cammy, what about you, mate? How did your predictions fare out for the juveniles?
Yeah, very well. Had Watson's for the win in drumming, obviously straight ones. And St Andrews College is a dark horse. I heard St Andrews College just having a blowdown a wee bit earlier on, and yeah, just incredibly impressive. I think him had 14 or 15 pipers, and it certainly felt like that. It was a really impressive tone, but yeah, Watson's were just. I watched them in the arena, and it was just like, wow, that's made me miss it a little bit. Being in that band, it's just so impressive. The tone that Ross is getting out of just 11 pipers in juvenile is just unbelievable, and it's just a pleasure to listen to.
Yeah, that's the sound that Watson's were getting. Absolutely, I agree. Yeah, for sure. Adrian, what about yourself, mate? How did your predictions fare out for juvenile?
I had George Watson for the win on the drumming, and Preston Lodge was my dark horse.
So yours are 100% on the money. Should we start calling you the Oracle now? No. Okay, grand job. But did you manage to hear any of the juvenile grade yourself, Adrian?
I didn't, because we had yourself, we had a band practice on at 1 o'clock.
We did.
And then by the time we got finished there was the band dinner then in the evening time. So
there we go.
Bit of a panic to get back and get sorted out.
That's it. So that's kind of introduces to what happened to me during the juveniles. I had to go and blow pipes, I'll tell you that. And then I had to run, so that we managed to miss that. Yeah. But Scott, what about you, buddy? How did your predictions fare out?
So I had George Watson's for the win on the drumming.
There you go.
As for my dark horses, I had St Andrews, who finished third, and Preston Lodge, who finished fifth.
There you go. So can we say the Oracle was correct again? Yes, he was. There we go. On the money. Yeah. Now, Ewan, I'm going to throw this to yourself, mate. You were in there with the camera capturing the juvenile. Tell us what it was like being in there.
First of all, can I just say I'm actually going to call this a sad grade, because I realised there's 6 placings in 7 bands. One good band here is just going to miss out. Mm-hmm. What a contest! I mean, I'll go through my predictions first. I had Dollar for the win, didn't have. Then George Watson for drumming, but the dark horses at St Andrews College and George Heriot's in there. George Watson's for the win, Dollar for the drumming, and Preston Lodge for fifth. There you go. So I had George Watson's for the win, Dollar for the drumming, and St Andrews College and George Heriot's in there. George Watson's for the win, Dollar for the drumming, and St Andrews College and George Heriot's in there. But George Watson's sound was like a tsunami that hits you like a brick wall. It was just, oh my word. Same with St Andrews College when they come on and singing, this is actually quite a big band.
Yeah.
But it was so good. But yeah, my heart sank when I looked at the 7 bands here and 6 prizes. And like, please, can you sort of divide the prizes up just this once, so all bands get a prize? So yeah.
Oh, there you go. So those recordings are now up on our YouTube channel. I've listened to a lot of them with headphones on, and I would recommend anyone that if you are listening to those recordings, do put a pair of headphones on or something to get the full sort of impact. And that's what I'm going to say here with George Watson's was impact. That big, thick tone that they had, it just really comes across. So, no, well done to all in that juvenile grade. Congratulations to all of you. So, yeah, I think the clientele on the Friday did seem to switch whenever grade 1 and grade 2 finished. And then on came the juniors after that. I noticed a good number of the spectators were all like mums, dads, aunts, uncles, granny, granddads. And it all changed. It was kind of a weird dynamic, that one. I don't know why a lot of the piping fans didn't hang around and support these youngsters, because honestly, this is the next generation, and some of the talent coming through here was just blistering. So, yeah, that would be my recommendation. Similar to what Cami said earlier, if you haven't been to the Friday at the Worlds, I can't recommend it enough. You do need to attend on the Friday as well as the Saturday. Yes, it's a crazy long weekend, but the music you'll be treated to on the Friday will be incredible. So do make a point next year to go to the Friday at the Worlds. Enjoy all the kids as well. All of that, the new talent, the fresh people that are coming through that can just melt your face. I can't recommend it enough. Yeah. All right, so we're going to break again. We're going to take a little pause here, but we will be back with all of the action then from the rest of our grades to see how our predictions fared. But before we do that, it's time for a big cup of tea. It's time for the topic of the week.
Kingdom Thistle Pipe Band supplies for all your pipe band and marching band needs. Supplying everything from uniforms and instruments to custom designed bass drum heads. They offer it all. Not forgetting their exclusive Kingdom Gilly Brogues and George Boots, crafted by bands for bands. Kingdom Thistle provides expert product advice and an industry-leading drum refurbishment service to keep your equipment in top-class condition. Also, shipping worldwide. So, stop by their store in Fife or visit them online at kingdomthistle.com for all your pipe band and marching needs.
Marchify, the brand new home of Flam 5 drumming. Check out their brand new Strike bagpipe case, inspired by their colourful, popular and reliable Flam 5 drum cases. The Strike bagpipe case combines durability, style and practicality, protecting every movement. Shop now at marchify.co.uk with worldwide shipping available. Marchify, every movement protected.
Hi, this is Ross Ainsley, and you're listening to the Big Rab Show.
And we're back, and we are about to get into the Wild West. Yes, grade 4B. Oh, have mercy. What a grade that was. So many thoughts from being an actual competitor in that circle, but also as a pundit as well. Like, following grade 4B this season has been intense. You just don't know what band is going to roll into town and clean up. That's why we call it the Wild West. People laugh at me when I call it that, but then whenever you think about it, going, well, yeah, fair enough. Any gunslinger can roll into town and clean up. So the Wild West did not disappoint. I don't think any of us got our predictions correct in this one. Now, that could be stuff that Rab got wrong. But, right, let's go through the actual results then, shall we? Looking at grade 4B, well, first of all, you had to get through your 2 qualifying groups, which were massive. 20 bands in each. Well, 20 in the first one, 21 in the next. If you made it through to that final, you already deserved a pint on the beer tent, because both those groups were insanely competitive. But anyway, well done to all 12 of our finalists, those who did make it through. And our world champions, congratulations to Breedy Ulster Scots. Go on, the Breedy. Yes, they also lifted the drumming as well. So impressive stuff there. Well done, Breedy. In second place was Lanark and District. Well done, Lanark. Yeah. In third place was Arbroath. Yes. Followed in fourth place by the Royal Air Force of Oman, who I was very excited to see, actually. Yeah, shout out to them. In fifth place was Dumfries. Yes. And in sixth place was the First Troon Boys Brigade. There you go. And that was your top 6.
4B. Man, this was one that I had really no idea what to do with. Looking at season standings, I was gonna pick between Uddingston, Strathclyde, Arbroath, or the First Troon Boys Brigade. Some dark horse picks that I thought might be interesting to watch. Of course, the Royal Army of Oman has been, I think, piquing everybody's interest with some of their performances. My own first band, Knoxville Pipes and Drums, coming over from Knoxville, Tennessee for the very first time. I was excited to see how well they did. I watched the video, and John and Tracy did a good job getting the band in shipshape. I enjoyed the performance, and I think there was definitely some great music there from the Knoxville Circle. The other band that I was really interested to see how they came out was the Rose and Thistle Ladies Band, with the organizer of that effort being located pretty close to me here in North Carolina. The ladies coming from all over the world and putting together a one show only kind of group. It's not entirely dissimilar from like the Spirit of Scotland band from a couple years ago. And so I was really excited to see what their performance looked like. I gave it a listen. It was not a bad run. It looked like they got 12th in their qualifier, so they didn't make the finals, but the ladies should be proud of the music that they made, and I was excited to hear them. My drumming pick was going to be Uddingston, Strathclyde for 4B, and looking at the results, I did terribly. The best band was one of my top 3 was maybe going to be Arbroath. Looks like they got 3rd. Royal Army of Oman got 4th. So, hey, there's a dark horse that's in the running. And everybody else looks like anybody I had on my list was not in the top 6. But anyway, cheers to the winners.
So, right, I'm going to throw it to Cammy. First of all, Breedy Ulster Scotsman, did you have that in your prediction sheet?
Absolutely not. Was relatively far off in the prediction. I had RAF Oman for the win.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
just on the basis of how unbelievable they were at Dumbarton. And I also had as a plausible drumming winner would have been Tullylagan or ourselves at Uddingston Strathclyde.
Yeah,
and the dark horse is the idea as well, but just what an unbelievably competitive 4B. And just want to say as well, the guys from Uddingston Strathclyde, the 4B, they qualified first in their heat.
Yeah.
And it was it was the best run I've ever had the 4Bs. It was unbelievably good. And they should be really proud of themselves. Didn't win a prize in the final, still went on and had a really good run. But it just goes to show even a good run in the final in 4B, it can often not even be enough. Just how competitive it is, and the standard in 4B just continues to rise in that sort of top 12 bands. So it's really tough. But yeah, Breedy Ulster Scots just, I'd say, came out of nowhere, but I think that would be maybe an over-exaggeration because they're a really, really good band.
Absolutely.
I think I heard them maybe at the All Islands last year or something like that. It's like, no, I think they've got a really young lead drummer, if I'm not mistaken.
They do, yeah. They do, absolutely.
15, 16-year-old, something like that. Really young chap. So to be that young and lift a drumming world title at that age is just incredible. Yeah. So him and his parents should be really proud of him.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. Oh, he should get a new PlayStation or something. Absolutely. That chap deserves rewards all over the place. incredibly talented young man, absolutely. Yeah, and as you say, you should be rightfully proud of him for sure. It is a talented band, absolutely. They deserve the win. So, fantastic, well done. But yes, I did want to mention Uddingston Strathclyde, 2 firsts in piping, first in ensemble in Group 2. Wow. So yeah, well done to the Uddy. Congratulations. But yeah, stepping through to the final and then having that second run on the day didn't lift the prize, unfortunately. But honestly, cracking to see all 12 in that group there for sure. Yeah, so well done, Uddy. Stuart, what about you, mate? How did your predictions fare out for the Wild West?
Well, I only got the one. RAF Oman, they were 4th. Obviously, the Uddingston.
Yeah.
In the final, they got a 3rd in Drummond. So I listened to them. Sorry about that. I listened to them in their performance, and they were absolutely fantastic. So proud of the guys. And they won the champion of champions. So well done to the Uddingston.
Yeah, we'll just sprinkle that little one in there. Yeah, fantastic. So there you go. Congratulations. So Ewan, what about your thoughts then on the Wild West? How did your predictions fare out, mate?
Well, I got it completely wrong. Although I can maybe a slight go. Because in my predictions, one of the dark horses, I had Brady Ulster Scots, and I quite remember the rest of the team's face like, oh yeah. So I'm going to go about that one. Yeah,
there we go.
Going to go about that. But yeah, I had Holly Mountain for the win, Tullylagan for the drumming, or Tullylagan for the win. So yeah,
There we go. So Adrian, you and I were in that circle, in that qualifying group, and Ewan was talking about Tullylagan for the drumming. I have to say congratulations to yourself and the drum corps. A Tullylagan band lifted the drumming in the group, but there's no prize for that, unfortunately. But yeah, well, how did you find things in the circle in the qualifying in the morning?
I thought, whenever we come out, everybody was buzzing. I thought we had a good run, good solid run. The drum corps, I think it's the best I've heard them play all season.
Yeah, it was a good run. So it was. Yeah. But it shows you how small the margins are here in 4B. I think Cammy said it, just how competitive it is, and to break through into the top 6 of your group, that is impressive, So I do believe that the bands that did make it through to the final absolutely should be in there. And the final did not disappoint. It was fantastic. So, but yes, Tullylagan, we didn't make it through. I think we finished up 8th overall. Is that stuff that Rab got wrong? Did I get that right? I think we finished up 8th.
Yeah.
So that's not bad. We are continuing to build, So, who knows what next season brings? Do you know what I mean? But, live to fight another day. Yes, well done to everyone at the Lagan, of course. But, there we are. Another World Championships done. Scott, what about yourself, mate? How did your predictions fare out for 4B?
You call it the Wild West for good reason. The closest I got was the RAF of Oman, who finished 4th, and the City of Brecon in 9th.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
That's the closest I got, as to say.
It's the Wild West.
As you say, when we do any of these podcasts, it's like these are our own personal picks as such. As we're not saying any other band hasn't got the potential to do it. So, I think sometimes you just maybe overlook bands by mistake.
See, that's it too. It's another St. Thomas situation, isn't it?
Yeah.
There you go. But anyway, full congratulations to Brady Ulster Scots, who absolutely thoroughly deserve that title. And they've been celebrating since then, I believe. Some of the videos and stuff of them celebrating in their hotel and all of that afterwards has been kind of viral, and it's just been fantastic to see such a reaction. But yeah, also congrats to the drum corps as well, lifting that top prize. Brady, fair play to you. Well done. And to everyone else that finished in that top 6 spot there in the Wild West, thoroughly deserved. Well done, everyone. All right, let's move on to Grade 4A then. And in first place was Carrigaline from Ireland. Well done. In second place was the City of St Andrews. Third place was Cullen. Fourth in ensemble preference was Altnavay Memorial. In fifth place was the Heidelberg and District Pipes and Drums. They were brilliant, by the way. I really enjoyed listening to them. In sixth place was Moneygore. There you are. That was your final. Scott, how did you fare out in your predictions, mate? 4A.
So I had Carrigaline as a dark horse.
There you go.
I also had Moneygore, who finished 6th, and City of St Andrews I had for the win. And then I had the drumming between Moneygore and Carrigaline, and obviously Carrigaline lifted the drumming as well.
I see. So can we count this as a win for the Oracle?
Not sure.
I think we can.
The one thing we need to add too is that's 2 years in a row Carrigaline have won band and drumming back-to-back grades.
Yeah. I was just about to say
as well.
Like, I don't know, what a story. Yeah. And the celebrations.
It's nice to see.
Oh, it's fantastic. I was so happy for them. Yeah, just seeing them all jumping and losing their minds when it was read out. It was so heartwarming. It was so good to see. Yeah. So, but yeah, shout out to the drum corps as well. I forgot to mention that. They did lift the drumming title as well. So, congratulations. Yeah. Adrian, what are your thoughts on 4A? How did your predictions fare out, man?
Well, I had Ratty for the win, but I had Carrigaline, Moneygore, and City of Andrew as well.
There you go. Yeah. Do you know what? City of St Andrews, I did have a good listen to them outside the circle before the final, and they were sounding super strong. I was thinking, yeah, you know what? I think our predictions, whenever we mentioned the City of St Andrews, there was a reason. They were sounding super. Absolutely brilliant. So, Ewan, what about your predictions, mate, for 4A? How did you fare out?
I had City of St Andrews to win. I thought the drumming might have went to Moneygore, but my dark horse was Carrigaline, and I'm also like Scott. I think it's a hell of an achievement. 2 years in a row, two grades, drumming and and a band. Absolutely hats off to them. Also in there, I had Ratty in the mix. Also, I've got to make a comment about that. The leading drummer from Ratty said to me at the Balls on the prediction podcast, "Why did Rab not ask you about the 4A? You missed me out." And I said, because I didn't want to give the proper result.
Oh, did I forget? No. Oh, here, I'll give myself a trombone for that. Oh, my word. Apologies there. Oh, that's terrible. But hey, shout out to the Ratty Pipe Band. Actually, again, I took a good bit of time to have a listen to them on the hill. And again, you can tell whenever a band is going well in final tuning, whenever there's no panic. There's nothing too frantic going on. Like, no one racing about and moving tape and, like, tuning drones. There wasn't any of that with the Ratty band. They were so chilled out. So, no, fair play to them. And apologies, Ewan, for missing you out there for 4A. That's terrible. Oh, dearie me. Professional radio guy. Cammy, what about yourself, mate? How did you fare out for your 4A predictions?
Yeah, relatively well. I was kind of split between City of St Andrews or Carrigaline to win it. I think I maybe edged City of St Andrews, but they were first and second.
There you go.
So relatively well with that. I had City of St Andrews with the drumming, obviously third. I was quite pleased with my two dark horses, which were Heidelberg, who finished 5th, and the Shri Dash Mesh, who finished 7th. But yeah, very, very competitive. But Carrigaline just seemed to be just on fire. I actually bumped into their pipe major in the pub not too late on Friday night, and it was just buzzing already for it. He was so excited. He was so excited to show me recordings of how well the band was going, and it just goes to show, because I heard them just had got their pipes out the box. I was like, that is pretty impressive for a 4A band.
Yeah.
So they're doing wonderful things at Carrigaline, but Paul Donaldson at City of St Andrews as well should be really proud. They've had a great season.
Absolutely.
I think it's their first year in 4A as well. I think they were promoted from 4B last year. I could be totally wrong.
I believe that's the case. Yeah, I think you might be right. Yeah,
probably on for a back-to-back promotion at this point, as will Carrigaline be. Some really good back. Cullen, I hadn't really heard a lot about them, to be honest, but they've obviously done quite well. Finished pretty much joint. I think they actually won the piping, like through the points, second and first in piping. So really good. But yeah, I was especially pleased at my Heidelberg prediction to finish in the top 6.
Yeah, they were special. Yeah, I didn't have them in my dark horse, but they were certainly a band to listen to. They drew a massive crowd. Did anyone see there was like 4 or 5 people deep around Heidelberg at one point?
Yeah, I've seen them in their qualifier, and I was just really impressed, to be honest. I think they had a a very special pipe sergeant in the form of, I could be wrong, I think Willie McCallum might have been standing in the pipe sergeant position. So,
there we go.
So a little guest spot for him there. So very impressive band.
Oh, they were sounding fantastic, honestly. So, no, well done to the Heidelberg, actually. Yeah. And you might hear a little chat with them in my On the Ground report. I did catch up with them on the day. Yeah.
4A. For me, looking at the results of the season, it was going to be St. Andrews or Moneygore. I think if it was any of the local bands who've been out slugging it out all season. My two dark horses were Loch Norman Pipe Band, just up the road with a lot of friends, and or that Sri Dasmesh band from Malaysia. I remember when they won 4B a couple of years ago, and they had a really tight sound. So I figured if there was anybody else cracking the top 3 or 4, it was going to be them. Looking at the results, congrats to St. Andrews on your second place finish, and congrats to Loch Norman for making the finals, qualifying out of the group stage, and the Sri Dasmesh as well. So nobody else that I had on my list made the top 3, but the drums, Caroline, congrats. I had no idea who to put for drums. I think I just scribbled in Loch Norman because love that Loch Norman drum corps. Cheers all, and congrats on making the finals.
So, Stuart, what about your predictions, mate? How did you fare out?
Well, I had Caroline for the drums, and they won it. So
there you go.
I'd City of St Andrews for the win. They were second, and Rathai Pipe Band is a dark horse, and they finished up in the 9th spot.
Yeah.
So not far off, but almost there.
There you go. Again, right names, different order again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am going to give a mention to them. I think we've already dropped their name in there, but the Sri Dasmesh Pipe Band, it was fantastic to see them again. You know, they don't compete often at the Worlds, but maybe as often as they would like to. But each time I've seen them, they've improved. Do you know that? And that's all you want. You want to see a band continually making that step. So, yeah, shout out to the Sri Dasmesh, and as we mentioned, the Heidelberg bands. They were just a pleasure to listen to. Also going to give a shout to the Stuart Highlanders as well. I had a good listen to them outside the circle. Thought they sounded pretty well. And also to Grantia as well. Now, I'm a big fan of Grantia's drum corps, and I thought their work at the Worlds was just fantastic. So, yeah, well done to everyone in that circle. Of course, even to Moneygore as well. I did hang out down at their gazebo for quite a bit. So thank you, everyone in Moneygore, for making me very welcome. It was just, a pleasure to listen to all of you. Yeah. So that was grade 4A. Now, moving on, we're going into grade 3B, and I don't know. I'm going to be very smug here and say that my predictions for grade 3B was on the money. Yes! So let's get through your prediction. Well, the results then. In first place and world champion in grade 3B, Drumlock. There you go. In second place was Govan. And I think Govan split the piping with Drumlock. Yeah, there you go. In third place was William Woods. In fourth place was the Black Raven, who also lifted the drumming title. Well done, Black Raven. In fifth place was Stockbridge. And in sixth was Troon Caledonia. There you are. And that was your grade 3B. So yeah, my predictions of the mighty Drumlock, Leftener, as they say here, they did it. They did it. They managed it. So, Stuart, I'm going to start with yourself, mate, then, for 3B. How did your predictions fare out?
I had Black Raven to win the drums, and to win it I had Govan, and they were second. My dark horse was Troon, and they were sixth. So
I see. Troon Caledonia.
I think that's...
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Troon Caledonia in sixth place, yeah. I can't read my writing.
Troon Caledonia actually came down and played 6/8s for the adult drum majors in the final. And they were brilliant.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed their 6/8 playing. So, just off the line, you're tired, you've given it your all, you've just played in your own final, and then you have to go and play for drum majors. So, no, fair play to them. They played a mean 6/8. Well done.
3B. So my first two thoughts on 3B was either Black Raven or Govan. My dark horses were going to be the Royal Army of Oman. Again, they've had some pretty interesting performances and come coming over and doing 2 majors this year, I figured there was a shot. I also was interested in seeing where Prince Charles finished up. I got to watch them place 3rd at Chicago in a unified grade 3, and they had some really solid competition with bands that went on to win the North American Championships and stuff. So the Prince Charlie band, I figured in a 3B, they might be worth watching as well. So looks like of my picks, Govan did take 2nd, so not too terrible. And both Royal Army of Oman and Prince Charles, my 2 dark horses, qualified for the finals, taking 11th and 12th overall. So, hey, they made the finals, which is an accomplishment.
I'm going to throw it to Cammy. How did you go in 3B with your predictions, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. I kind of got it the wrong way around. I had Drumlock to win the Drummond and Black Raven to win it overall, and it was the other way around. And I also had Govan as a potential winner as well. So not too far off, but very competitive at 3B. Unfortunately, my dark horse of Plougastel from France didn't quite make the qualifier to the final. However, always worth saying that to get a band to come across and compete is ultimately a win in itself. To come and compete at the Worlds from overseas, it's a really tough thing to organise, and we find it tough enough to organise going over to Belfast to compete. So never mind organising a band from France or Germany or Australia or Canada or wherever.
There you go.
Always worth mentioning that it's an achievement to get on the grass in itself. And I heard I was just wandering about on Friday, and Drumlock were having a practice on the green, and I seen the blue drums. Now I thought in my head I'd seen Cascadia play earlier in the day with blue drums, and I was like, Chris, Cascadia are sounding pretty good for the medley tomorrow in grade 2.
Yeah.
I was like, I seen the bass drum, I was like, that's Drumlock. Like, what an absolute tone for 3B. So 100% well deserved winners.
Oh, for sure. They were sounding electric, you know. Yeah. So I've already said it to them to their face. Got here. Yous are on fire today. And they didn't want to hear it. They were like, I don't know. There's maybe things we could change and we could work on it. No. Take it from me. Yous were going well. And hey, there you are. You lifted the trophy. Well done. Adrian, what about your predictions then for 3B? How did you fare out?
I had Drumlock for the win. And Black Raven and Govan for Black Horses.
There you go. So you and I both got our prediction right then.
Yeah, the one was completely off.
No, we'll not mention that. We were 100% on the money. Yeah. There we go. So did you hear any of 3B yourself?
No, I didn't. I heard Prince Charles because they were playing for Louise's final. So I just had to hear them behind us then, and they were sounding good, so they were.
There you go.
But as I say, it was only just whenever we were down waiting for them.
I see. Yeah. Shout out to the Prince Charles, you know, that did make it through into that final bracket. So that is as good as a win right there. And also the Royal Army of Oman made it through. Yes, again, sounding quite strong. I managed to hear them outside the circle, not in. But yeah, there's a good number of international bands that made it through. So the Governor Maguire Memorial from Straya made it through. Well done. Actually finished up in the top 10. Well done to Stockholm Pipe Band as well. Again, from Sweden, that drew in a massive crowd. So yeah, it's great to see international bands in the mix here, for sure. As Cammy says, it's not easy. But yeah, definitely worth a mention. Ewan, what about your predictions, mate, for 3B? How did you fare out?
Embarrassingly wrong. I had down Pipes and Drums for the win, for the drumming. So got that so wrong. I had Govan in there and Drumlock. But I didn't deliver. I don't know why I didn't put Black Raven in there. I think I just wanted to be different because I thought most of the team would go for that. So yeah. But yeah, Drumlock, I deservedly win. I seen them playing off at the end and they were just ecstatic. Yeah.
There you go. Well, do you know, I'm going to give a shout to Down Pipes and Drums, who finished up 9th in their group overall. But in the drumming results, actually, in their group, they finished up 3rd. Mm-hmm. So they did. So the drum corps were cooking that day. So yeah, just unfortunately, just out of it in the top 6. Again, their Group 1 qualifying for 3B had a lot of big names in there. You know, very competitive group. So was Group 2, to be fair. So yeah, I don't know. So shout out to the bands that didn't make it through as well. Yeah. All right. So, Scott, the Oracle, did you get yours correct as well? Your predictions?
Yep. So I had Drumlock for the win
Mm-hmm.
and Govan as a dark horse. I also had Prince Charles as a dark horse. Now, yes, they finished last in the final, but as you say, to come from America and get into that final alone is a huge achievement.
Absolutely.
And then I had my drumming between Black Raven and Drumlock, who was your first and second drum corps.
Yes, there you go. So we'll play the Angels for you. The Oracle got it right again. Woohoo!
Just as you were talking about down pipes and drums there, there are new bass heads. It must be like a rebrand of the band's logo. It's insane. It's
They're
class.
so good. Did you see? Oh, man.
It sounds bad, but it nearly reminds me of the Jägermeister logo.
It does, though, doesn't it?
So it does.
Yeah.
It's like the big deer.
It's very cool looking.
But, very, very good. Also, you were talking about Troon Caledonia.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you see bands at the Worlds you've never seen before. That has to be one of the smartest rig-outs of a uniform I've seen on that whole park.
Yeah.
So it is. It's nearly like very regimental looking, like an army band.
Yeah, no, you're right. Very smart. So, and they don't give out prizes for M&D at the Worlds, do they? I don't think they do.
M&D preference is probably as close.
For a drum majors, there you go, yeah. So, I don't know. But if that was the case, I think Troon might have lifted that, because I do agree they were very smartly turned out. Yeah. And also those McCallum chanters with the big soles on them as well. Big tone, big sound from them. So, yeah, they were a band that certainly impressed. Yeah, so well done, Troon. But, yeah, well done to our world champions, the mighty Drumlock. Woohoo! And maybe them playing at Rab Show Live had a little part to play in that. Anyway, let's move on. Moving on to Grade 3A then. And world champions for 2026, Macanta. Go on, the Macanta. Done so convincingly. 2 firsts in piping, first in ensemble. Not a bad weekend's work for Macanta. In second place was the Matt Boyd Memorial. Go on, the Matt Boyd. In third place was the Major Sinclair. In fourth place in ensemble preference and lifting the drumming was the Livy, Livingston Caledonia. Well done. In fifth place was Elgin and District, and in sixth place was Grayling Crossing from Canada. There you go. So, whose predictions came out all stars for Grade 3A? Because mine certainly didn't. I had Burnt Island and District predicted for the top spot. I was absolutely cheering for them all day. I was really clinging on to hope that they would do it, but alas, wasn't to be. Anybody else get their prediction in Grade 3A?
3A. I think everybody said Burnt Island on the preview podcast, and that was going to be my pick as well. I had them for overall and drums, with my potential dark horse being Livingston Caledonia for both piping and drumming. Looks like Livingston did take the drumming, so hey, we got that. But the Livingston took 4th overall and Burnt Island took 7th overall, so way off. I'm glad I didn't lend my voice to the preview podcast and potentially lead some bettors astray.
Cammy, how did yours fare out, man?
Yeah, similar. So we had Burnt Island for the win.
Yeah.
Which didn't pan out. It did qualify first in our qualifier. I also had Livy for the drum and couldn't really look past them. And then I had two sort of dark horses. I had Grayling Crossing, who finished 6th. And then obviously ourselves at Uddingston Strathclyde didn't make it out of the qualifier.
Yeah.
But again, it was probably easily our strongest run of the year. It was really, really tight. I was incredibly proud of the guys. They performed exactly how I asked them to. We kind of gave it one last push, and it wasn't enough, and that's okay. It just goes to show how competitive 3A has been. And when you look at that top 6, only two of that top 6 have come from Scotland. So it just goes to show that edge when all the Northern Irish bands can make it over. Grayling Crossing, obviously Mechanical from down south. It's really competitive. And Burnt Island go and win 4 majors and not even win a prize. It's just incredible, actually.
It is.
It shows how competitive it is.
Yeah.
It's almost like a carbon copy of 3A from last year. Texo D-side won the first 3 majors, didn't have a prize at the Worlds.
That's right.
Burnt Island the same thing this year. It's incredibly competitive. But no, we were happy. But clearly, it's just the podcast just didn't want to qualify. Tullylagan 2 and 4B didn't get through. We didn't get through in 3A. So we must just not have a clue what we're talking about. We were really happy with how we performed. But yeah, 3A is a tough nut to crack, and we'll be back next year for sure.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so I was going to ask like being in that 3A bracket has been insanely competitive this year, and the world seems to be testament to that as well, Cammy. Yeah, just at that group that you guys were in, again, a lot of big names in there, and very competitive.
5 out of the top 6 were in our heat.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show how competitive it is, and even the bands who weren't in the top 6, like City of London, have had a really good year. Dunbar, Coffin, McNeilstown, all those bands who were in the top 12, it didn't quite sneak a prize. Even City of Newcastle, who finished last in the qualifier, I heard them in the tuning park. I was like, they're really sounding good. So it's really tough. Even like I could probably reel them all off. Kildog, I've heard them through the year. I thought Kildog were maybe a slight dark horse to get in the top 6. Didn't qualify. Yeah, it's the standard of 3A is absolutely incredible, and it's a really tough grade. But yeah, I could rant on all day about how competitive it is.
That's it. Is this the new ridiculous grade now? Yeah, you're quite right. So, Stuart, being in that circle yourself, mate, how did your predictions in that fare out, first of all?
I had Livingston for the drums, obviously. Everybody in here was rooting for Burnt Island. Yeah. But unfortunately, they placed 7th. And I don't think we're going to mention our bands on the next prediction podcasts so that we can qualify. Right.
I was saying that this is like the kiss of death kind of thing. As soon as we mention it, it's not going to happen. Is that...
It's possibly, it could happen, yeah. So on next year's predictions pod, I'm not going to say our band's name at all.
There we go. Yeah. So we're not going to curse. Yeah, that's it. Absolutely. So I don't know, like being in there, obviously, like Stuart, I was chatting to you on the day as well. You were saying that you guys were happy with the run, that you guys played well, but just didn't make it through that bracket. Yeah.
No, we didn't. Both our lead drummer and Cammy just asked us to put it all on the line, and that's what we did. And it probably was the best performance we've had in the medley all season. But just unfortunate, it didn't cut it, unfortunately. So
that's how it goes. Yeah, that's bands right there. Yeah. But that's it. As long as you were able to say that you upheld your end of the bargain and give it all, that's the whole point.
Yeah, we all did on the day. It was great. We all come off pretty buzzing, but there you go.
Excellent. Yeah. So, Ewan, what about yourself, mate? Did you have Burnt Island and District in your predictions as well?
I had Burnt Island for the win, Livingston for the drumming. My dark horse was Major Sinclair Memorial and Macanta, and I also threw in there Eddie Strathclyde.
There you go.
So, yeah. So I did. Oh, not too bad, but yeah.
So, Adrian, what about yourself? How did yours fare out, mate?
Complete shambles. I had Major Sinclair down as a dark horse, but on that, the same as majority was there, Burnt Island for the win.
There we go. I think we were all kind of reading off the same sheet at that point, I think, whenever we done our predictions. Oracle, were you in the same boat as well with Burnt Island?
Yeah, them for the win. Say they got to the final. We were all hoping for their swan song, but obviously it didn't just happen for them. I also had Livingston, Caledonia, and Greenland Crossing as dark horses. And then I had Livingston for the drumming.
There you are. So you did get that one right. So see, there you go.
You got one right.
See, the Oracle's doing well. But yeah, commiserations to Burnt Island. I think we were all cheering for you. You know, it would have been so cool to see you do the Grand Slam, but alas, wasn't to be. But hey, congratulations to Macanta, who lifted that world title convincingly, I should say. You know, with so many ones across that board, piping ensemble. Congratulations. And to Livingston Caledonia's drum corps, I think they're still celebrating today. The cheer that went up from the levy was something else. So, yeah, well done to everyone in that 3A bracket. Very enjoyable competition. And, congrats to Makanta. All right, let's get into the ridiculous grade then. Those that made it through to the final 12, well, you thoroughly entertained us the following day. I'll say that. And, so, the results for Grade 2, you've probably heard them now already, but winners and world champions for 2026 in the ridiculous grade, Ulster Scottish. Yippee! In second place then was the Royal Borough of Annan. Third was the Pipe Band Club from Straya. There you go. Fourth place was the Baguette Cap Caval from France. Yes. Fifth place was Buchan Peterson. And in sixth place, the Uddingston. Yes, there you are. So, well done to the Ulster Scottish Band. What an electric performance from them. I had a good listen to them outside. They were something else. So, not deserved champions. So, I'm going to throw it to Scott. Did you catch any of the final at all?
No. So, unfortunately, I didn't catch any of the final. I'd planned to go and see bands like Buchan and Ulster Scottish, but I had planned to go and help set up the bass and tenors of the 4B band for the qualifying. Yeah. And then your run was on around the same time as Louise's in the adult heats. So, we had also promised Adrian and Victoria would go and video her heat for them.
There you go.
So bar hearing bits and snippets, in my own personal opinion, I knew who I kind of wanted to hear or hope to hear in the prizes.
There you go. But I think overall, a stupidly competitive grade. Yeah. So we kind of knew who would be in the conversation, though. We did mention him in the predictions pod. But how did your predictions fare out then in the ridiculous grade?
I was very, very happy with how this turned out, being at my own personal grade. So I had Ulster Scottish as a dark horse.
Mm-hmm.
Who lifted it? Royal Borough Annan for the win.
Yeah.
And Pipe Band Club Australia for dark horse. So that was your first, second, third.
Mm-hmm.
And I also had Ulster Scottish for the drumming.
There you go. Well, we'll let the angels sing again. The oracle strikes again. He's correct. Oh, man.
When I was going through it, it was kind of like, I know it's your own personal opinion, but I was like, I think that's the closest one I've ever got.
There you go. Which isn't bad for the ridiculous grade, mate. That's not easy to predict that one. Yeah.
Grade 2. So the obvious safe bets of the people who've been slugging it out all season, Royal Borough of Annan, Buchan Peterson, and Uddingston, they've been picking up all the majors so far. A dark horse from the UK for me was John Stone. I really enjoy John Stone's music. It's a band that I think is underappreciated. My international dark horses, the ones that you can never tell how they're gonna stack up until they actually get there. The Pipe Band Club from Australia, Ulster Scottish, of course. I watched them live at when they won the Grade 2 event in Chicago, and man, they were one of those bands in Grade 2 that really is kind of flirting with that lower tier in Grade 1 as well. I think they probably could have played in Grade 1 and not embarrassed themselves. So they were definitely one to watch. And Baguette Cap Caval, I always love hearing their sets at the Lorient Festival. And so I was excited to see what they did for the Worlds. For drumming, I was going to put Ulster, their back line. Man, when I watched, I was standing right at the line in Chicago when I watched them roll off, and it about knocked me off of my seat. So that was who I was going to pick. And congrats to the Ulster guys for winning the drumming and first overall. And actually, it looks like my top 6 was the top 6. So second was Royal Borough of Annan, third Pipe Band Club, fourth Cap Caval, fifth Buchan Peterson, sixth Uddingston. And also congrats to John Stone for a nice performance as well. I really enjoyed the Grade 2 videos that I found this season.
So you were actually in there filming the final. Now that's bound to have been an experience, mate, being in there for
fantastic. That. Absolutely fantastic. And what a final it was.
What
a final. I was so impressed with all the bands in the final 12. It's just, you kind of know where you were going to go. I mean, the predictions I had was like, I thought that Royal Borough Annan was going to win it, but well done, Ulster Scottish. I had North Stratton and Buchan as my dark horses in there too, but but it was just so good, and I was totally impressed with their place with the Pipe Band Club from Australia. Like when they hit from that intro, it was like, wow! It's like this. It was great. It was absolutely fantastic, and I'm privileged that I got to be there and witness that firsthand. It was just great. So yeah.
Well, thank you for capturing that for us. You can go and view that now. It's up on our YouTube channel. The whole Grade 2 final is available, and there's some standout moments in there. So there is, in particular for me, has to be Cap Caval. I thought they were electric. They were so good. Buck and Peterson as well played an amazing tune. I really, really enjoyed them. But you know a band that I stood and watched for some time outside the circle that I absolutely loved was Texo D-Side Caledonia. My word, they were something else. I can't really describe it to you, but the sound that they had, something else. Anyway, Adrian, what about you? How did your predictions fare out then for the ridiculous grade, man?
Well, I had Royal Borough Allen for the win.
Yeah.
I had Ulster Scottish and North Stratton for Dark Horses.
There you go.
Ulster Scottish for the Drummond.
So you were on the money there. Oh, hold on, Adrian. You're going to start calling them the Oracle now, mate. You're going to get a new moniker. Scott, watch out. Well done. There you go. Cammy, what about you for the ridiculous grades? How did your predictions fare?
Not too bad. I'd put down Pipe Band Club for the win, obviously coming third. But again, I thought they were just phenomenal. I heard them tuning up for MSR in the final, I think, on the Saturday, and they were just really impressive. And I had Buck and Peterson for the drumming. I think they were third overall in the drumming by the points. So really impressive. And I'm quite pleased with my dark horse, Bagad Cap Cabal, came fourth overall. But they were also second in the MSR with a first in piping. They're just really incredibly talented band.
Yeah.
Obviously having previously been in Grade 1 and probably trying to fight their way back up there. They are really impressive. But yeah, when I heard Ulster Scottish in the qualifier on Friday, I was like, that's going to be really, really tough to beat. A really impressive band. But yeah, again, very competitive. I heard Uddingston tuning up for the final, the MSR, just excellent as always. Heard North Stratton in final tuning, thought they were really, really good as well. There's just loads of excellent bands in Grade 2. It is really tough. You can see that from the likes of North Stratton and Cascadia, Celtic, Texo all missed out on the top 6, but just almost as equally as impressive as each other. It's getting to that point where it is similar to Grade 1, where it is musical taste and tonal preference, and a lot of it coming down to the ensemble feel of the band rather than the technicality of it, because it's just so impressive. So yeah, really, really tough to call. But yeah, very, very competitive, but also Scottish, I think, very deserved winners.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. But I think whenever you're talking about that musical precision and stuff, like North Stratton for me were just perfect. There was no mistakes. There was just impeccable playing, and the musicality was there. And yeah, causing problems for judges. I think that's what all those bands we mentioned there, like Buchan and Uddingston and all those other bands that were sort of in the middle of the pack, honestly could have been stepping in there and winning it. It is just the judge's preference. So even the Celtic pipe band from New Zealand, they were brilliant. I've almost swore there, but they were so good. Bucksburn District, even Johnstone. I spent a good bit of time listening to Johnstone warming up on the hill, and again, impressive tone, big sound. These are not bad bands. All 12 of these in that final, absolutely, amazing. So, Stuart, I'm going to leave the final thoughts for the ridiculous grade for you, mate. How did you fare out in your predictions in Grade 2?
I didn't fare out at all.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I had Annan for the win and the drums. City of Dunedin as a dark horse. And North Stratton as a dark horse as well. So, unfortunately, I didn't get there.
No. Do you know what? That ridiculous grade, we're calling it the ridiculous grade for a reason. I have to give a shout out to the city of Dunedin that did miss out on their qualifying narrowly, I have to say, by just a few points. I think just behind Bucksburn and District, I believe, in qualifier 1. That could be stuff that Rab got wrong. I'll maybe need to check my script again. But yeah, city of Dunedin, Scott's giving me a thumb up. I'm right. There you go. So thank you, Oracle. But yeah, city of Dunedin, honestly, were a pleasure to listen to. Had a good listen, especially to their drum corps, really thumping a good tune. But again, we've mentioned it about the ridiculous grade. You're a good band amongst other good bands. You know, the grade 2 standard just continues to get better every year. And hey, congratulations to Ulster Scottish to come out top of that heap. On top of all 12 in that final, that's no mean feat. So congratulations to the Ulster Scottish, deserved world champions, but to all 12 who hit that final, you were all just a pleasure to listen to, so thank you. And if anything, for those bands that didn't make it through to the final, yous were all brilliant as well, to be honest. Both qualifying groups were just brilliant to listen to, so well done to everyone in grade 2. Whether you made it through to the final or not, just thanks for the music. It was a pleasure to listen to. All right. Let's do it then. Let's move on to grade 1. And in case you've been living under a stone, I think it's been everywhere. Yeah. World champions in grade 1 for 2026. Simon Fraser University. Go on, the SFU. Yes. In second place was the Field Marshal Montgomery. Third was People's Ford, Boghall and Bathgate, Caledonia. Fourth place was Inverary and District, our defending champions. In fifth place was St. Lawrence O'Toole, and in sixth place was Police Scotland Fife. Yes, and winners of the drumming title and sash went to St. Lawrence O'Toole. So well done to Stephen Crichton and co. There lifted the drumming. Well done.
Grade 1, we finally made it. God, it was so hard to know what to do with grade 1. When I was putting my list together, it was like, okay, well, here's 5 bands that could all be first, so they're going to be my top 5. And here's 5 bands that could be second, so they'll be my next 5. My top 5 was going to be anybody between Field Marshal, Boghall and Bathgate, Inverary District, St. Lawrence O'Toole, or Simon Fraser University. It really could have gone in any order. If I was forced to pick only one to put money on, I was going to put money on Field Marshal for this year. I think their new leadership is finding their stride, and they really had the chance to pull it out. But I am happy to see that Simon Fraser won it for the first time in a fairly long time. So cheers to them. Field Marshal, congrats on your second. And I think all my top 5 was the top 5. So I was pleased with that run. My drumming pick was going to be between St. Lawrence O'Toole or SFU. So congrats to the boys there at Slot with your drumming win. And then my dark horses were going to be between Fife, Hawthorne, and St. Thomas Alumni. So congrats, Fife, on your 6th place finish. And really, congrats every band on your performances. I was watching the Friday live stream and while I was busy at work and supposed to be doing something important, and Hawthorne came on and really kind of felt the hairs on the back of my neck prick up. That was a really, really nice run that Hawthorne had on Friday. So cheers to everybody down there in Australia, and congrats on an excellent performance.
So I'm going to throw this to the Oracle, who I believe is already smiling on the camera here in the Zoom call. How did your predictions fare out for the big grade, mate?
The first one, I'll apologise, I didn't get the drumming. I had it between Field Marshal and Simon Fraser. Now, I could go in and break it down to MSR preference, but on overall, they finished second overall, both drum corps. But
they did.
If you go in, I'm sure there's one above. But
yeah,
balance-wise, I was very happy. I had Field Marshal for the win, who finished second, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And then my 2 dark horses was obviously Boghall and Simon Fraser University.
There you go. So we're all in the fight there, Scott. So you weren't far away. Will we give that to him, Adrian? Do you think we'll get a thumbs up here for Scott? We'll give it to him.
Yeah.
There you go. Benefit of the doubt.
Adrian will tell you, we were standing on the top of the hill during the finale, and through every grade and drum major, me and him was like, you had them, going for a grade. But when we heard Simon Fraser called out, I could have done with your bleep bleep.
Oh, the bleep machine? Oh, no.
And then there was like two Americans sitting in front of us, and they were like, who won? Sorry, we're like, Simon Fraser. We're like, yeah, that's good. And they looked at us as if they shouldn't say it, and we're like, no, that's class.
That is amazing. Yeah. There was a huge story pour out since then about the band's anniversary and everything, which we didn't really mention here on the show, but that is the thing, absolutely. But also, I didn't realize this until I actually seen it in the press the following day. It was in the telly, if anything. They were talking about how it was 17 years since Simon Fraser had lifted a world title. Is that right? Or is that stuff that Rab got wrong?
Seen that in the news. Now, I know they won the drumming a few years back.
Yeah, that's
Didn't
what
they
I
win the
thought
drumming
too.
2 years back to back.
Yeah.
But it must be the early 2000s. Would it have been 2007 or so they won it, or something like that?
That's what I was thinking too.
I think the story was it was the last 17 years since a band outside of the UK had won.
Oh.
The one being Slot in 2010.
Aye.
It would have been the last band outside of the UK.
That's what it was. Well, do you know what that is? That's lazy journalism right there. Yeah. They were just going, whoa, it's been 17 years since SFU won it. Nah, not technically. You're wrong there. There you go. So shall I give it was a Good Morning Britain. I shall give him one of these. Stuff that Rab got wrong. There you go. But hi, congrats to SFU. Yeah. So Adrian, what about you? How did your predictions fare out, mate?
I had Inverary for the win. And for Dark Horse, I had Field Marshal and Shots. But for the drumming, I had Slat.
There you go. So you didn't have SFU in the fight at all, mate?
No.
You know for a fact, Rob, but I had them because I'm very biased.
Oh, no, of course, mate. Yeah, you do it every year. Yeah. There you go. So, Ewan, what about you, mate? How did you fare out in your predictions?
Oh, I'm gloating here. I am gloating. So if you go back to the prediction pod, I said if it was a fair day, Simon Fraser would take the win. So I did that. Yeah. I also predicted Slot would take the drumming.
Oh, that's right, you did. Yeah.
And I had Field Marshal in there, Inverary and Boghall. So I did not too bad. And to this day, I've still not heard any of the recordings.
Really?
At all.
You haven't
listened
listened
to anything
back?
of grade one whatsoever. I'm going to do that tomorrow. I bought myself a sound bar for the TV, and it's great. So
Nice.
That is my thing for tomorrow night, is to sit and actually watch the grade one.
Oh, crank it up, mate.
Smug.
Bucket of popcorn. You'll love it.
Yeah, quite smug.
There you go. Yeah. Stuart, what about you? How did your predictions fare, mate?
Not too bad. I had SFU for the drums, but after seeing St Launce O'Toole at the Piping Centre, I wanted to change my prediction. I had FM for the win. Inverary is my dark horse, and I also mentioned Hawthorn. I think they placed 11th. I think they was 11th. Yeah. So I did not too bad. Not too bad.
But let's talk about Hawthorn, shall we? Like that medley selection. I think everyone's talking about it now. That medley selection. Mm-hmm. That was something else, though, wasn't it? The Saturday medley.
Yeah.
I don't have words for it, how good it was. I don't know. I'm not going to swear it's a family show, but go and watch Hawthorn's medley on the Saturday. I don't know. It does have a proper title. I'm calling it the Mark Saul medley because you have a Mark Saul start, middle, and end, basically. But fantastic set. Yeah. Cammy, what about yourself, mate? How did your predictions fare out for grade one?
Yeah, not too bad. I had Slot for the drumming. So I got that right. I was very confident in that, similar to Stuart.
Nice one. There you go.
I was lucky enough to be at the Piping Centre for their drum corps event, and they were just incredible. I was taking a wee listen to their practice after that as well, and I was very confident after that. The drum corps just seemed in a really good place, and you know what Stephen Crichton's like. He's just cool as a cucumber. So
absolutely,
it was really, really impressed. I also had Slot for the win, obviously not to be, but they had four really good runs, and also had Hawthorn as a dark horse. I was really disappointed though. The BBC cut the recording. They cut away from the drum corps right at the end of the medley performance, just as they went to do their stand back and play each other's drum sort of little knick-knack at the end. I didn't get to hear many of the Grade 1 bands on Saturday, so sat back and listened to the BBC recordings yesterday. And that was just so disappointing. They just cut away from them in the last 5 seconds for the drum corps.
Yeah.
But that's TV for you. I suppose you can't get it right every time. But yeah, it was a very competitive Grade 1. I got to listen to virtually all the bands on the Friday. And probably, I'd said to a couple of guys, like, I probably would have SFU after the Friday performances. They just had a really tight pipe core, and when they were playing as a pipe core without the drums, they were playing in really tight, and tonally it just felt they had a little bit of an edge on the Friday. Something like, but yeah, I think all the bands were excellent, and I had Fife as a dark horse as well, again 6th place. A really impressive weekend from Fife as well. But yeah, slot drum corps I was very confident in, and I was really impressed by Hawthorne as well.
There you go. So yeah, I did have St. Lawrence O'Toole for the win. I did go with my gut on that one. I thought St. Lawrence, the magic they showed me at the All-Ireland Championships and at other majors this year, I honestly thought St. Lawrence were absolutely cooking. And I finished in the top 5 in the world, which is no mean feat in a crazy grade of 13 bands where any one of them could win. But yeah, congratulations on lifting that drumming title for sure. I do agree with you. Simon Fraser University did seem to have that little extra magic, extra spice. I don't know what it is. It's kind of intangible. I know what you mean, Cammy, when you were saying that, there was something else in the Trinity Park, I think, they had an extra edge there. Bands that I did want to mention, of course, 70th Fraser Highlanders off the back of their concert and everything. Tone, #Tone. Man, did they have sound. They had sound for days, and I did not want to leave them. I wanted to stand and watch them all day. They were so good. Also, I'm going to give a mention to Shots. Shots in Dykehead had such a brilliant weekend, and come on, they played the big turnout. Come on. And that video, that little clip of them doing the big turnout has went ultra viral. Now, I mean, it's everywhere on social media. I don't know, anyone hasn't seen it yet. But yeah, shout out to Shots. What a blistering performance. Didn't finish in the prizes overall then, they finished in 7th place. But still a blistering band, definitely worthy of your attention. A couple of other honourable mentions. St. Thomas alumni. Had a great time listening to them on the hill. Again, sounding very strong. Shout out to their pipe corps. Also, Ravara pipe band. I'm going to give them a mention. Again, a band that every time I listen to seem to be improving. And I don't know how that's possible, but they're doing it. Every time I listen to Ravara, they get better. Just a thoroughly entertaining grade. Grade 1 did not disappoint. But congratulations to our world champions, Simon Fraser University. And no doubt we'll be talking about Grade 1 now for the next 6-8 months until we're back again for next season. So, I don't know. Final thoughts then, everyone, on the World Championships. Stuart, I'm going to start with yourself, mate. What were your overall feeling for this year's championships?
I enjoyed it. I think the over the 2 days it was enjoyable. The music that's been produced throughout all the grades, not just the top end. Everybody has seemed to have stepped their game up. Let me see, Grade 4 is a ridiculous grade. The Wild West, Grade 2. Everybody has just stepped their game up. So next year, next season, everybody, we're going to have to put in a wee bit more extra practice and get on with it. But over the 2 days, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I had a great Worlds this year.
Yeah, and we're just a little bit knackered by the end of it then. Come Saturday night, yeah.
yeah. Like you say, the alarm went off for work the other morning, and I was like, back to reality. So
indeed, yeah.
Final thoughts from me. Taking in the Worlds from across the sea is obviously a different experience than the people who are there on the ground. I don't have to worry about the portaloos situation. I don't have to worry about security. If I think I heard a note mistake, I can scroll back and go listen again and see if I actually caught it or not. The live stream this year, I think, was maybe better production quality than years past. I was getting a little better sound than I remember having in years past, and the commentary from Bob was unparalleled as usual. He does a great job every year, but I really enjoyed his commentary this year as well. I think the prize giving seemed to run a little smoother than it has in years past. I know there's some years that, I'm exhausted after having started the live stream at 5 a.m. New York time, and it's now 2 or 3 p.m. and I have no idea how the people on the field are still standing there. But I think everything was done by 2 p.m. Eastern time, so seems like things were better organized, and at least from afar, it was a great experience, and enjoyed, as usual, the shout-outs from Bob, and hope he keeps doing that for years to come. And so 10 out of 10 on the live stream. Cheers, all.
So, Cammy, what about you, mate? Your closing thoughts then on the World Championships. What did you think?
Yeah, I think it was a really good week. Pipe and live included. I think that there was just so much going on. There was a great buzz about the place, and the competitiveness of all grades, as Stuart said, is just getting better and better for ourselves. And 3A for the guys in 4B, there's some really great bands in there, and obviously at the top level, the margins are so fine within grade 1. It's almost unbelievable. I mean, you look at even the Feds. Yes, they did come 13 for 13. However, I heard most of their tune-up in on the Friday, and I was just so impressed. I said, it goes to show you how impressive and how tight the grades are. But no, for a personal note, a really good Worlds. Yeah, we didn't qualify for our final, but that doesn't take away from the really hard work we put in. We had 4 practices from Saturday till Friday. We worked really hard and put on a good performance. I was fortunate enough to be in Glasgow from sort of the Wednesday onwards, so we got to take in some grade 1 practices, and obviously the Pipe and Live events on Thursday with Slots Drum Corps, and a few other bits and bobs. It was just, in the Friday, again, is always my personal highlight of the week, and it didn't disappoint. So yeah, from start to finish, a really, really good Worlds, and I think that it'll be tough to top that next year, but I'm sure all the bands will be back in the band hall from September, October onwards, including ourselves, and we're going to have a really good winter, and just again be counting down the days till Guruk, really.
Yeah, that's just it. Yeah, keep crossing them off the calendar. That's it indeed. Ewan, what about yourself, mate? From incredibly busy World Championships for you, filming everything. Yeah, final thoughts.
I totally, thoroughly enjoyed it, like everybody else. I think, for me, it's been one of the best Worlds. I was just thinking about the way the bands are. I think after the COVID, the lockdown thing, I think now it's like things are maybe just starting now to come together again. But yeah, phenomenal contest. And the week too, like Cammy says, the build up with the Pipe and Live, and it was just great. It was just fantastic. And the good thing is it didn't rain, so that's that's also a bonus. So yeah, and I looking forward. I've still got a couple minor contests to go yet to film, but yeah, I'm terrible. It sounds like I'm wishing your life away, but I can't wait for next season.
I know, that's the next thing, isn't it?
Phenomenal, but great time. A great time.
There you go. Adrian, any final thoughts, mate, on the World?
Yeah, I just noticed this year a lot of the standards from the vans and everyone's top quality, whatever grade you're looking at. The performances are putting in definitely is a lot higher than it was last year.
Yeah, for sure. I think that is part of my final thoughts as well. Standards are continuing to rise post-COVID, and we're seeing evidence of that each time we step out in the grass in Glasgow. Yeah, for sure. So I'm sure even the same thing rings true for the drum major world as well. Would I be right in saying that, Adrian?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because you've said many a time, M&D preference comes into it now.
Yeah,
seeing a lot of that.
It's a factor for sure. Scott, what about yourself, mate? Final thoughts on the Worlds?
What the Worlds was good. All in all, tried not to get the non-qualifying yet to me. Made the most of it. Yeah. Great company with Adrian and all, but there's one thing I would add, not to sound like a downer, and I know it's mainly money in Glasgow Life more than the RSPBA. In 2026, we're still working off smaller than a classroom whiteboard to say who's qualifying.
What's that
compared to
about?
we used to have a big screen at the Spire, and then just small things like even before COVID, like there was bits of tiered seating around arenas, which then opened it up a bit. As was mentioned before, I think it was you that said it there, but maybe after COVID, there's it just starting to fully progress itself back to what it was. So I think it would be nice to see it come back to what it was, like a proper electronic screen where you're not trying to look like a rabbit in the tail lights, trying to see what it is and stuff, and tiered seating around some of the arenas that helps open it up so you're not standing 5-6 deep and you're not having sore legs
or something. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
As I say, I know a lot of that falls to mainly Glasgow Life, bar RSPBA. They just they get told what's going on at it, and then this is where, and probably some of it maybe doesn't happen anymore due to health and safety and stuff. So
that could be it too. Yeah, that's it with the tiered seating and stuff. I suppose. Yeah, you're right there. Yeah,
but all in all, as everybody said, the standards, as I mentioned to you in a couple of grades there, the overseas bands, because you don't see videos of them or we don't see them as often, they always come and fire you a shocker. So we have to up our game to compete back against them.
Absolutely.
So
and it rises all boats, doesn't it? Yeah.
Makes it all interesting. Say it's just going to get to the point where do you go from here?
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, medleys, we didn't know where they're going, and then we had the Dream Valley medley last year. Shots big turnout this year.
Yeah.
What's next?
That's it. You just don't know. Yeah. So what does 2027 hold for us? Goodness knows. No idea. It's going to be, I don't know, epic. So, I do have some final thoughts myself. Yes, that finding out you're qualifying on a whiteboard written on with a Sharpie, yes, I think we can please bring back the big video screen. Look, we're not asking for pyro or anything like that. You know what I mean? Just something that adds to the moment, so you're not hanging around outside a porta cabin and then someone comes out with a whiteboard. It's a bit, of just like a bit more pizzazz about it. Like, here's your name up in lights kind of thing. Really cool in that moment. So, capitalize on it. Also, on a personal note, I'm going to give a huge shout out to Colin Mulhern, who gave a pretty heartfelt speech towards the end of everything. The cameras were just about to switch off and all of that. And he said his cheerio to the pipe band world. And a lot of people missed it. So I'm going to, mention it. That was Colin's last World Championship. He has been in that post now as CEO for the last 5 years. I think he's done fantastic work. He's been very keen to engage with us here on the Big Rab Show, and we have a great working relationship and where we've been trying our best to help the scene. And it's been fantastic working alongside Colin this last while. So just want to wish him well. On to pastures new, wherever he is heading to. The best wishes to Colin. But also to whoever's going to be filling those big brogues. Best of luck. It's not an easy job. Whoever will be stepping into that role will certainly keep you posted. And good luck to them for sure. But yes, World Championships, what an incredible weekend. I think I need a week off after that week off, if that makes sense. We will be talking all about Piping Live episode 500, everything that happened at our live event. I know we haven't chatted about it here, but that was not Worlds related. So we will talk about that in a future show. But to everyone that did take time out of their day to catch up with us in the Rab Show team, not just myself, but to everyone here that did mention that they listened to the prediction pod and were laughing at us. So thank you, everyone who did take a moment to say hi. The amount of selfies that were took was kind of crazy. But thank you. Very flattering. And that's it for 2026. Now we're all suffering from world's blues. So if you do want to be kept up to date with all of the piping news and stuff, of course, well, do continue to follow us on the Big Rab Show on our socials, our website, and future podcasts, because we've got a lot of great stuff. If anything, next week is our first of the on-the-ground reports from the Friday at the World. So if you want to hear what it was like to actually be there in the tuning park, dandering around, stumbling on people, go and check out next week's pod. So, folks, thank you all for joining us this week and each and every week and downloading, as always. Don't forget to tell your mates about our wee show, about what we're doing over here. Blethering away about piping and drumming each and every week. So, good luck to everyone who is stepping out this weekend for the tail end of your own domestic season, and to everyone in Newcastle here in Northern Ireland for the Heart O'Down and the Champion of Champions. Good luck, have a good tune, and we will see you all on next week's pod. So from all of us here in the Rab Show team, we'll see you all next week. All the best. Well, that's it for another Big Rab Show podcast. Thanks so much for downloading this week, and a special thank you to our sponsor, G1 Reeds. Played by bands around the world, they are the champion's choice. Check out g1reeds.com for all of your piping needs. Don't forget to check out thebigrabshow.com as we keep you across everything in the bagpiping world each and every day. So until next week, folks, we'll see you right here on the Big Rab Show podcast. All the best.